Why, hello there.
Hey everyone.
I'm going to bring this music down just a little bit while we get ready here.
Welcome. It's the first talking simulator in the new
talking sim
office.
The new office. First, like, proper stream back. This place is really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's swank. It's really weird to think. I'm just gonna like take a minute to sort of like wax poetic because I joined Lure in 2009 when they had just moved from, I think they were like had done or were just about to move to Mark III. Yeah. Which was like a drafty loft in a building that later became condemned in like not a good part of town. Right. So like, and before that it was in like, I think this office here is about half the size of the first moon base. Right. Because it was like a tiny little office, office cubicle. And then before that it was like Morgan and Bill's place. Right, yeah. Which was bigger, but it was a corner. Yeah. So, yeah, just going there from there to 4 to this, it's a long journey. Anyway, so we're back with a game I played on IDDQ Derp some amount of time ago. 2 years ago, maybe? Something like that. 2, maybe 3. This is a okay. So the joke with our show's title is that it's a play on the phrase walking simulator, which was a much derided genre of game. Yeah, it was invented as a pejorative. As far as I remember. Because it was just like, you don't do anything, you just walk. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah. It's like, sorry, there's nobody to shoot in the face or, goodies to collect or anything like that. And it was annoying at the time because, a couple of these games dared to be a little different and they, came out and made it quite a stir. Yeah, but there was no multiplayer mode. So, like... where does the railgun spawn? Yeah. So, this one is of that genre, basically meaning that there's, like, very little... in as much as like gameplay, like there's not really any puzzles as far as I remember. There might be some like keys or something, but even those are pretty. Like I said, it was a long time ago when I played it, but I recall enjoying it, and I think it'll be interesting to explore. One of these storytelling games. Okay. So let's just go fuck it up. Yeah. All right, so... No. Yeah. Put this back up. You are about to inhabit a broken mind. Not everything you see or hear is trustworthy. An untrustworthy narrator. Interesting. Just a bit. There we go.
Hello again. I guess it's time for us to chat, as is our routine. Not to imply that this is unwanted. In fact, I think I'm growing rather fond of you. You and I have shared a grand nothingness, and I feel as though your belly is a suitable embassy amidst the unknown above.
Huh. That's a weird thing to say. Yeah. Where do you find a typewriter this size? I don't know. But it's interesting you mentioned that because, like, you're right. The pages are real big.
Yeah.
In fact, unrealistically big for a typewriter. But that's for the convenience of you being able to read it.
Absolutely. All right, so first thing we see, orange
Cool.
switch. What do? It set it on. 31st of January. I often wonder how many times I have woken up to greet you. Hundreds, if not thousands of days have gone by, Shirley. I can't believe you had not shown him to me. Solomon, my dear Solomon. Yes, I met him near the south side of this facility. We had a wonderful chat, and I don't want you to feel jealous. A friendship between us would never develop to eclipse my friendship with you, and as he distanced himself from me after mentioning a woman named Belle. The poor fellow was unable to rid his mind of her. Some long-lost friend from an older time, I think. I'm glad I'll never lose you, Leviathan. Our relationship is a special one.
That's an interesting thing to say. Huh.
GUO.
What a slightly troubling map.
Yeah.
We got some question marks.
Yeah.
Some GUO, which references the switch.
Mm-hmm.
And monster symbols?
Yeah, that's unusual.
Like Taurus-style monster symbols that
Yeah.
kind of make me think of the Minotaur.
Yeah, absolutely. At the core of a labyrinth.
I mean, he's maybe relocated to the upper corner.
Well, hopefully maybe his spawn timer isn't up yet.
So, what do we got just in our immediate vicinity?
We
We've
can
got
zoom in slowly.
we've got a bed which we got up from.
Yep.
So this looks like somebody's sort of like impromptu digs.
Yeah, this feels like a squat.
This looks like the kind of place that we have been stuck in for a long time, as evidenced by the typing. So I imagine it's our work. Although I
Yeah.
wonder who was greeting us.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, we've got some more stuff to read. We've got our lamp.
2nd of February. He said something about moving north towards happiness and contentment. I get the sense that this was simple sarcasm, but that often gives way to an actual desire. I do hope he finds what he is looking for. After all, he is making an effort to explore. That's more than I can say for the other Minotaurs down here.
Sorry, what do you mean other Minotaurs?
The one whose residence is near the dumping point for the clean water was bad enough, but the new one, this Moses character, does nothing but whine about his precious dwellers and their unwillingness to move. Where's your movement, Moses? To be fair, he did leave the other day. He said he was meeting with the order camp somewhere north.
So that's a lot to sort of unpack.
Yeah, that's a lot of loaded
Well, first
statements.
of all, like, we have Minotaurs being invoked.
Mhm.
Second of all, apparently they're sapient?
Yeah. Well, like the Minotaur from Greek mythology, like he wasn't the monster in the labyrinth was built to house the Minotaur, right? It was supposed to be like somebody's child, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, the only thing I can think of when somebody says Minotaur is that Olaf strip.
Which one?
The one where the guy keeps wanting to build labyrinths,
Mm.
and then they, like, announce that, this hideous child is being,
Right.
born,
Yeah.
and he just goes... like, it's just a two-panel reveal of his face just lighting up. It's
Finally!
It's like, ah!
5th of February. He's back. Not Solomon, no, the other one, Moses, just down the way. It's so hard to keep track of all of the Minotaurs these days. But I'm sure you know them all. You are a perceptive one, aren't you? Anyway, he's back, and I feel compelled to go and meet him again. I'm quite the social butterfly, I'll have you know. Granted, whenever I attempt dialogue, I usually get the same tired story about how insane I am, or some other nonsense. Moses doesn't like me. He had the nerve to say that you don't exist. He said that I am some idiot bumbling around spewing my mind to you. Well, Moses, I'm no fan of your work either.
We were warned that we were inhabiting a unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Well.
Oglaf, just for you guys who are unfamiliar with it, is
Sorry,
frequently...
it's super NSFW.
Not every strip, but it is... Yeah. It is an NSFW strip, so be very careful if you go to...
There's
to Oglaf.
fucking in that comic.
Yeah.
Like, lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Good call.
probably my favorite webcomic. It's just so exceptionally well written. Like, Oglaf is one of those things where you read the strips and you're like, I should give up writing anything ever again because these people are just smarter than I am.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
All right. So we
You know,
hang out with the Minotaurs.
it's like, well, supposed alleged minotaurs, you know.
Yeah.
That what I'm inferring from, our digs and these first couple of things is like, maybe these aren't real minotaurs.
Yeah, Minotaurs in
Been here too
quotation
long.
marks. 7th of February. The fool. He's made the switch. At least that's what they say. I made the switch once, and my mind has never fully recovered. I embraced void, but I resurfaced quickly enough to survive. Why have you done this, Moses? Why have you dived into uselessness? After I switched to the unclean water, I began to see the world for what it could be, the vastness of nothingness. I can only rely on you to unveil reality again, Leviathan. You must show me what they have done, what this place is, lest I implode in my own abyss. These are really loaded notes.
Yeah, they're real loaded.
Yeah. Okay. 15th of April. He's gone. No longer will he exist as a parasite in your belly. He has made his escape, his journey to Tarshish. That's biblical.
I feel like somebody was mentioning that Mia was around the last time I played this, and she pointed out a whole lot of, like...
Yeah, Tarshish is where, Jonah was headed before they pitched him overboard to the storm. And I cannot help but feel as though he is brave in doing so. On the other hand, here I sit, alone, with nothing to show for myself. I have become static. I sit here consuming the supplies from the old city, never even considering what the sources might hold. Shall I continue to rot? Perhaps I should drink of their unclean water again. After all, if I am useless, there is no reason not to dissolve. No, I will continue. I will cling to sanity like a man lost in his hope, and I will cling to your innards like the parasitic worm I am. Okay, because the opening narration mentioned, in your belly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is he referring to the city itself?
Yeah. 30th of November. It has been long enough. I have wasted away being useless for enough time to see that there must be a change. Tomorrow, Leviathan. Tomorrow I will make my journey. I will reach the surface and I will find the old city. I will find the sources. Jonah. We are Jonah.
All right, well.
Oh, Mia's here.
Is she?
I have that on vinyl. Hey, Mia.
Yes. You forgot your old username. Sweet. Well, this will be useful. Go.
Yeah, Tarshish, I think, was where Jonah was headed when he decided, like, if you're not familiar with the story of Jonah and the whale, Jonah ran away from his sacred duty. And he ran as far away as he could possibly go and booked passage on a ship bound for Tarshish. And people were like, what the fuck is Tarshish? And the scholarship I read was like, Tarshish might be Cadiz in Spain.
Yeah.
Which, if you're starting in the Levant, on the eastern side of the Mediterranean, Cadiz is like the entire world away.
Ah, okay. So it's like with the limited maps of the time he went to.
Yeah, he was like, where are you going? Further. You? Further. You? Further. There. Okay.
Okay, that's the edge of the map.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a hole busted in this wall.
Yeah. How did anyone get in and out of here before?
Yeah.
This is a place with no obvious exits.
Well,
unless
maybe that was the door.
Maybe there was a door frame
Something
here.
larger came through. Sanity. It's
It's
a
a
slippery
slippery
thing. Stay focused, Cam. What the hell is that?
What is that?
Is that a rat?
It might be a rat.
That looks like a rat.
That's a rat.
So that's either a friend or a meal.
Mm-hmm. The symbol of the Boba Fett.
Yeah, okay.
Boba Fett is here.
Residence. That's a really weird icon to put on a residence.
No, it's the symbol for the Mandalorians,
Okay.
the legendary hunters. Oh, I didn't know they were here. Okay. I do like our pace being
Yeah.
very like leisurely and deliberate.
Well, that's the thing about games like this is because, what a small but very important thing to adjust in the kind of game, because like a game like Quake, you want to be going like a fucking rocket ship, because the pace of the game dictates that you want to be flying around the levels.
Yeah.
But for a game that's meant to be sort of introspective and like observational and stuff, winding back your pace to just like a sort of a move around.
Well, the feeling this also gives is one of command. Right? In Quake or Doom or another first-person shooter where you're running everywhere, it lends you to like this feeling of like urgency.
Because there is urgency.
Yeah, but here, there is none. Right? Unauthorized personnel keep out.
There's again with the Minotaur symbol. So
yeah.
I wonder if these are actually printed or if you're just like, yeah. So this is not a game for AGDQ? No. Oh, props.
Yeah.
Okay, the various kind of knickknacks that you would associate with
exactly.
like
Pack of
an
cigarettes,
industrial kind of
like
place.
a wire brush, some lubricant, painting lights.
Crush can.
Yeah. 12. 12 what?
12 something. Water source main and sewer main. I'm glad they kept those separate.
Yeah, that seems important. This is still too close.
That's fine.
Yeah. West Main General Utility, Garden Street, GY 23. CY 23, Overflow 45.
It's kind of gobbledygook.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting presentation of choice.
Oh, that's pretty. I wish we could go up there.
The third way is inaccessible to us.
But
we cannot ascend.
But we're also not that far below the surface.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we saw the light before, but...
Okay.
Y'all want some cholera?
Well, let's...
Oh, there's ghoul again. Water source main.
Well, that was briefer than I'd have liked.
What's that on your left?
Water source main.
There's some...
Oh, eyes.
Okay, yeah.
Something that is watching or something we are meant to see?
Something that gives you one vision.
As he
referenced before?
Yeah. This is the good stuff, apparently.
Yeah.
And it's right at the water source.
So something I wanted to talk about in games like this is they sort of remind me of short stories, except that all the description of what you see is furnished by the player's mind. Because it's like, he strode into, the, whatever, like however you wanted to describe the corridor and, looked at these things and that and this and that and the other thing. This, I think, sort of replicates that kind of, deliberate scene setting of, oh good, you don't take falling damage.
But we can just freely navigate.
Nice. Scene setting of short story like literature, but in the context of a game, all those observations are up to you to make. And in a sense, I feel like that's the gameplay that you're experiencing. Is like,
And please do not take offense. Your innards sometimes frighten me. Even in the complete safety of a belly and to myself, there are places like this that I do not want to know.
The breadcrumb trail of every fucking time. It's really funny because my house has a backlit fan, just because it's sat next to the window. But
I always like this in my instrumentation class in university. We would have basically this is a thing that's used in certain kinds of spectroscopy instruments.
A backlit fan.
Almost. You have the fan in an instrument is something called a chopper, which you have like you're shining like a light source or a laser through a sample, and what the chopper does is it gives a frequency to it.
That's how isn't that how they used to do like really, really, really old TV?
Kind of. And the reason you want a frequency to it is so you can set your detector to only detect light sources operating at that frequency. So you can operate these instruments in like a well-lit room, because it will only pick up things operating on that frequency. And the trick with it is that never set it to 60 hertz.
Oh.
because that's overheads.
Whoops.
And you're just like, come on.
I was about to say, is there any sort of coincidental
Yeah.
data you could get?
60 hertz or 120 hertz because there's a phenomenon called frequency doubling.
So yeah, a lot of the fun of this is just we're given a little bit of information and then, all the inference that we make. Somebody pointed out that maybe there was a blowhole earlier,
Yeah.
That could have been intentional. That could just be us.
Yeah, your interpretations here are really strong.
And
another
ladder
choice. Also, I know of red fluorescence is unusual.
Red fluorescence is a weird color choice because, by and large, they're
yellowish,
they're yellow,
greenish.
but
yeah.
so their sort of proximity to this somewhat threatening narration, and next to this eye pointing up to an overhead lamp hanging over you like a sun.
Yeah. So do we ascend or do we descend?
I kind of want to see what's up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is an arrow pointing up.
All right. Well, it does look like a sun maybe during the eclipse, or before then.
But I really like that these games, the gameplay is the interpretive act, because more choices. Things are expanding here.
Yeah, we have a lot that we can do now. So,
okay, so water sources. Oh,
the big complaint that gets leveled against a lot of these games is just there's nothing to do. And I really disagree. Because, I think we associate things to do in a very... I'm just going to say that it's kind of narrow. You're looking for objectives or markers or pickups or something like that. And those are all very legitimate, very proven to work gameplay mechanics. But I think there's, a more subtle way you can interact with games. The way I kind of characterized it is you remember, maybe, I don't know if everybody's had this experience, but when a family goes to the beach and the kids are going nuts on the beach, just playing in the water, throwing balls, finding sticks and shit like that, and they're just this is so great. Why are our parents just sitting on the beach not doing anything?
Yeah.
That looks so boring. And from the opposite perspective, it's just you know what, this is nice.
Yeah, it's nice
it's
not
just
to
nice
do.
to be here. To just listen to the waves. Oh, yeah.
Would you be angry with me if I removed his work? I'm not exactly a fan. Before I assumed this portion of your stomach, he existed as a parasite, eating away at your flesh before making his escape. I'm told that he refused to accept the sustenance you haul in from the outside. Some say he went insane after attempting to live off of the unclean water. Poor fool.
So is this one of the Minotaurs?
It appears to be. There's a dead rat here.
There's a dead rat and a
barrel
of water. Well, maybe potentially water.
But digs shockingly similar to your own.
Yeah.
Oh!
I
wonder what they're trying to say here.
I think I see what's going on here. No one sees. He's got this drum full of eye-labeled material. And apparently he went nuts.
Yeah.
Drinking this stuff.
All right. January 24th. So around the same period as yours started out? This endeavor is new to me, but I suppose no other of my kind has written a journal of their discoveries. At least none that I have read. Why is that, I wonder? Why do the others, though spread thin in this hellhole, prefer talking to themselves aimlessly and without end? They wander in the dark, spewing their mind as if the walls themselves were engaging with them. No matter. The walls will not hear my thoughts. No, my thoughts are for you, reader, whoever you are. Oh, that's me. January 25th entry 2. I met with the Order camp near the downed subway car today. It is always interesting how they and the others down here have taken to living in our collective filth. Though, I suppose the grass is always greener, only when you can see the other side. If I can plan some sort of coordinated effort to get to the surface, I think we can travel much faster. What we need is a rigid system and cooperation. Whoever's writing these loves their parentheticals. Entry 3. Back when I was dubbed Minotaur by the Council of Modernity, I assumed the title granted me at least a modicum of authority over logistical affairs. This doesn't appear to be the case with the Order Camp, however, as they've rejected me outright. The title seems to distance me from them. Sometimes I feel as though the Council is no better than the rabble of pre-mods that they combated. The pre-mods themselves are almost entirely eliminated, but our current populace is just as stubborn and unwilling to challenge their current status.
So here's a twist.
Pre-moderns?
Well, Minotaur is
A title.
A designation, rather than a literal monster.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the impression we're getting here.
Yeah.
So, we made one assumption
Mm-hmm.
and then made another assumption, and we've found information that completely recontextualizes that.
Yeah. And also, Council of Modernity. Pre-mods.
The old city, sort of
Why is this mounted sideways?
annoying. Subway access, water treatment, docks.
Today I decided to use a different tactic than I used before. Instead of pulling rank, I opted to use reason. As common dwellers, we are all aware that our supply of water and food is largely provided by the old city. It is clear that this entire supply is simply the leftovers of a much larger meal, a hand-me-down from some other entity in a much better financial situation. While this free sustenance is appreciated, wouldn't you rather find the source? Apparently I alone have that sentiment. I'll try harder. February 3rd, entry 5. It has been a week since my last entry. I've tried everything. These people are intolerable. I've tried every measure of reason to no avail. They'd rather drink the old city's charity water than find its fountain. I don't know how much longer we can take this, or I can take this. Every time I give a reason to escape this underground purgatory, it becomes more evident to myself how bad...
Yeah.
It become more evident to myself how badly I personally need to get out. And every time they refuse, it becomes more obvious how hopeless this situation really is.
I wonder if it's deliberately written to be...
deliberately written like that.
Just be like, I'm important. I use $5 words.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I hope that's deliberate.
If it was, yeah.
We get to judge whether it's deliberate or not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that whoever wrote this knows that's grammatically
Yeah.
not good, and that recontextualizes this person, this Minotaur, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and this is just obviously our character should probably know this, but here we are discovering it.
Oh,
What the hell is this?
It's a labyrinth projector.
Is that an omega or a 3?
What's it?
What's it projecting?
Nothing. Or maybe just something we can't see. It looks like a maze. Maybe a corn maze.
Oh, it's a labyrinth. Yeah. Well, luckily that has nothing to do with anything going on here.
Ghoul. I definitely heard that in an anime one. Oh, what's this? Grrr.
Grr.
There was 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, there were Moses and... Who was the other Minotaur?
Oh, shit.
Okay, so we've been all around up here. I think.
Oh, the Ekites.
So we went down there. Solomon.
There's a change in
Yeah.
atmosphere. The lights are harsher. The brick is a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, more regular.
There's a backwards 3. No smoking.
Make the leap with a barcode. Interesting.
Yeah, I truth be told don't remember how much weird puzzle shit there might or might not be in this game, I don't think there was much, if any.
Again, the pace in this game really does make it feel like we're quite deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a confident stroll.
Yep, it's like...
I
Like-
wonder if the dwellers would cluster together like rats if they really understood the true value of isolation. All of their pathetic little wars and ridiculous assumptions of superiority would be washed away if they all had their own private labyrinths to roam around in. Granted, they could never understand the importance of the individual, the megalomania of justice in the guild, order, and, yes, even the unknowing. It's far too strong. There really is no point in even attempting dialogue.
So what is a labyrinth?
An urban confoundment? Is that the right word? Almost?
I really liked
Like the eye fire.
yeah. I liked Paul's description. We were talking about Westworld a few months ago. And in Westworld there's the maze.
Mm-hmm.
The maze is some kind of structure that exists within the simulation of the world. And I really like that they used maze because the...
As a child, before the lots were cast, my parents moved around a great deal. State of motion was not constant, of course, but it was frequent. Honestly, I loved the newness of it. I loved feeling like a sculpture, clay added over and over, but with an artist always ready to carve from my form that which I did not require, continually reshaping my psychology. Bags in front of me during the unfortunately early hours before departure. They seem to decrease in number with each successive voyage.
Paul described a labyrinth as a convoluted path. A labyrinth has no dead ends, whereas a maze does.
Oh, I didn't
The labyrinth
I didn't
just
know
winds
that.
back in on of itself over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you get to the center. You just walk straight along the dimension defined by the labyrinth, and you get there
I
eventually.
did not know that was the distinction.
Yeah,
Huh.
but a labyrinth is just a convoluted path, and I really liked that.
That is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer ball, overturned bed, overgrown, potentially former digs?
Yeah, this one has the G on, so guild, unknowing, order. It makes you feel like you're lost, but there's no way to become lost.
Oh, you know what that makes me think about?
What?
Like, well, playing a horror game where you
You are-
experience distress in perfect safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like even a horror movie, or like any number of these virtual experiences that we sort of put ourselves through. Is that like a lot of them are very upsetting, stressful situations, but they're fine because we know there's no danger.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I do like how the paths that we've seen on these maps are all circumnavigating this walled area labeled the Old City. Neat.
So it looks like we're living on the outskirts. There's more notes.
Note 784. Okay, all the Minotaurs apparently have
Typewriters.
and their own numbering system. 784. It's funny, isn't it? Months into travel, and at the end of it, I'm still left with absolutely nothing. They told me that I should seek out the water treatment facility on this northwestern portion of the island. They told me that, if I found it, I would be met with a conglomerate endeavor to reach the inland. I was told that the Order and the other enemies of the Guild would not interfere with our attempts at progress. No one told me that the conglomerate endeavor in question was simply the continuation of the same pointless struggle against nothingness. Well, that's a loaded statement. I suppose this is my punishment for assuming movement has any worth. Miles and miles I ventured, all this time spent, all this pain endured, and here I sit with nothing to show for it but a dirty old mattress and a stagnant mind. That's the best part of it all, really. The best part is that I haven't changed. I'm the same idiot stumbling around in a fallen world that I was years past. Luckily, now that death is finding me like an old lover, rejected yet loyal, it doesn't matter that the dwellers don't seem to be concerned with the inland. Then again, why would they be concerned? Why would they want to find meaning, a meaning that the old city must provide if they already have their own? What need would there be for change? I am so horribly idiotic, aren't I? I should have seen it. No matter. It is about to be over, thankfully, and this pathetic waste of a life won't be here to trouble anyone anymore. Onward with your endeavors, then, dwellers. I'm sure you'll make headway with your enemies someday. Surely it won't result in the continuation of an infinite conflict that will never be resolved. Surely. By the greater eye, what a fucking joke it all is. I've met a local minotaur named Jonah. He's a friendly reminder of sanity's fragility. Drank from the unclean water, no doubt. In speech he seems normal until a point, and at that point his dive into the bizarre. I thought that said Brazzers for a second, and I was just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I would call it pretentious if it wasn't so obviously born of pure insanity. I guess I can't complain as it's far better than the nonsense I hear from the guild. At least Jonah doesn't make weightless promises of inland ventures. No, he's firmly planted in this place. As if stuck in a loop, he keeps returning to vague memories of his childhood as if they can protect him. In the middle of a thought, he'll bring it back from the void, just to make everything seem safe.
So dwellers and the inland, I think, referring to the old city.
Yeah.
And so the dwellers, like, I suppose, like squatters. For like, what I'm getting out of this is perhaps the people who lived around the old city, gave up on any idea of support from the old city. Maybe the old city stopped talking to them, or went away in some way, and they decided to make their own civilization. Again with that backwards 3.
Yeah. There's something I'm not understanding here, but...
All the Minotaurs think the other Minotaurs are insane.
Yeah, they're like, man, at least I'm not that asshole.
Yeah, that dude's fucked. There was a path down...
Yeah, off the side.
Yeah.
Must stay between yellow lines.
It's safe there.
Mm-hmm.
The ambience is getting more intense.
Yeah.
Presumably because we're heading further into... Hello.
Pigs waste what is not swill. Well, you feed pigs swill, right?
Yeah.
Because they'll eat anything.
Yeah. What is swill? Mung.
Mung.
Pig swill. Now I'm curious.
But you don't give pigs anything that isn't basically trash.
Yeah.
Right? I guess it's an epsilon. So they cast lots, and the lot fell to Jonah. That's biblical. Isn't it? Jonah, basically Jonah runs away on the boat, and the boat is beset by a storm. Which is God being like, no, you don't get to run away from your duty. Sorry, that's not how that works. You can't run away.
Yeesh.
And the sailors, being superstitious, are like,
Just get out the boat.
yep. Move, bitch. Get out the boat, bitch.
Get out the boat. So where have we not gone?
Like, we went down there. We just saw all the barrels marked vision.
Mm-hmm.
That were dumped in, but I didn't see anything else to do.
To To observe.
to observe, to draw conclusions of. Now, I think I may have missed something.
Yeah. I suppose that is one of the drawbacks of games like this, is that, like... I mean, especially if it gives you freedom to kind of explore at your own pace.
Oh, yeah, that was it. The drawing of lots was like RNG, right? Almost like a drawing of fortune, right?
What does it say?
So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yeah.
It's being like, well, you're in God's hands now. Pick one. Fuck. I'm like, thought so. Oh, the fish was God's... Right, yes. Yeah.
We haven't encountered any interactable items yet, but... Like I said, I'm going from a very distant memory of what you actually get to do here.
Pedro de Moth, the Bibble.
The Bibble?
The Bibble. The Bible is probably worth reading just because it turns up in a lot of places.
Pop. Soda?
Viva. I might as well just read the whole thing. It's not that big.
A lot of contexts, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You can rip one off from, like, any hotel room.
Yeah, basically. People give them away for free.
Yeah, Chad put it there. So...
Okay.
Well, yeah, let's have another look here, see if...
Here? Like
yeah,
up? Yeah.
May as well. We could do the sort of, like, go left thing where we trace the wall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently we're lost.
Residences. Alright, so we came here.
Yep.
And here as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So two of them living in proximity.
Yeah.
The picture Bible. You could always read Robert Crumb's Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
That must... What the fuck? That's weird. Did we go
down here? I'm pretty confident we did. And yeah, there was O for the order. And there's all kinds of water jugs.
Like regular water jugs.
Yeah.
Not those like suspicious drums.
Oh,
what?
no, but
Nope.
we can't climb that ladder.
Fake ladders.
Real fake ladders.
Oosh.
We went down there. That's where we came from.
The area of corridors, where the walls got kind of clean.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see everything there?
I am not convinced we did.
Let's have a look. The Lego Bible?
There are no more walls. No open spaces.
No smoking. This is no good.
Yeah, this is no bueno.
We don't have an interactable there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
We've just
clearly,
seen all these
actually
things.
it's an epsilon, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well.
We went down here. We do seem quite tall, don't we?
Walking tall. So did we go... Oh, did we check both left and right?
Yep.
Okay.
So what am I missing here?
I mean, maybe you're missing nothing.
Maybe.
I do imagine...
Maybe this is just the entire game.
Yeah. I assure you there's more. Well, we can go back the way we came. I feel like this was probably the correct way for us to be going.
Yeah.
Because it, like that doesn't open, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's keep going.
This way?
Oh, are we completely backtracking?
Oh, I guess not.
I mean, right out the gate, it sort of throws us in a direction, so I think that we're...
like following the lights.
Yeah. I bet you anything we're overthinking this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason people spell it Roth instead of Wrath?
I don't know.
Roth.
Like, they did give us a map.
Oh yeah, we probably should have... See, I do feel actually kind of foolish because they literally handed us a map at the very beginning.
Yep.
So, if we're lost...
Yeah, we can go have a boo at the map.
Yeah. Or Roth is past tense.
Hmm.
Where is my cursor? There it is.
Did I totally miss this before? No. Roth is not past tense, it's just the archaic form. Well, wrath isn't a verb, is it? I wrath, you wrath, they wrath. I don't think... Maybe this is our problem. We all just need Jesus. Oh, we can jump. Neat.
Whee! Roth is past compassé. Passé compassé.
Passé composé.
Who are we calling a good Jewish boy? Hey, hey, Cam.
Oh, nicely done. Okay.
So I don't know where we are right now.
Okay.
I think those are the GUO pipes.
Yeah. That's the upstairs.
Okay.
So we are...
There's a question mark door.
Yeah.
So maybe we want to go here. Oh, there's also the exit.
Hmm.
Apparently the exit is upstairs, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, I want to check out this question mark.
Okay. Is there an interact key?
Options. There is, yes. There's E.
E.
So there are interactables.
Okay. We're just stupid.
Why are we so lost? Because we didn't bother to
Look at the map.
take the map that was handed to us
At the beginning.
at the beginning, seriously.
Hold on.
We literally... Wait.
Solomon's notes? We cannot access.
Yeah. Ah. So the reason we're lost is because we're dumb.
Quab.
Okay, so this is a weirdly...
Home. Oh.
Yeah, this is like very much out of goose
Phi?
with everything else. Phi.
Theta.
Theta. B.
Phi. Theta.
All right.
Phi. Theta.
Her
Some kind of
dev kid.
human larva. My father showed me in the heavens, Ziz flies, his wings like the clouds. He darkens the skies. Still, Behemoth is roaming in his desert unknown, the dunes reaching forward where no seed is sown. Under these beasts, neath the depths of abyss, Leviathan's creeping, Sheol's prince of Dis. Dis, city of the damned! Abba guided me onward by the strength of his hand. I let slip between my fingers my grasp of the sand. He wondered, curious, do you know where you are? Indeed, I did not. All I could see was the blue. I told him plainly, doesn't matter. I'm right here with you. Prince of D's nuts.
There's the soccer ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an awfully nice room, weirdly positioned at the bottom of like an industrial sort of corridor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, there we go. And back to it. I wonder if that just actually happened.
I wonder.
Ooh. That's a
That's
humdinger. You can do it.
yeah, Sheol is the place of the dead, right? Oh, it's an
I
interact
shouldn't
button.
be here.
It's an E.
We're stupid.
I'm stupid.
It's okay.
I shouldn't be here.
That's fine.
Yeah, it being an antechamber. Oh, interesting transition.
I mean,
This is
Rare
different.
Monsters, Por qué no los dos? Can it not be an exhibit and a story? Like, there's a story going on here. If nothing else, it's the story of, like, us inhabiting the role of this narrator and their journey through there. Like, that's a story.
The first text we cannot read.
It's just a prop. Is that a human? Or
Hello.
What was lately a human?
Oh, there's more
another
than
human.
one.
That's a statue.
Yeah, that's definitely a statue, right?
Huh. Statue or turned to stone?
Pass the salt.
What?
The salt.
What?
Pass the. Oh, never mind.
Why the fuck do we sit so far apart?
Please. I cannot swim this deep. Let me out. Please.
Okay, we
And
weren't.
we're thrown back here.
Yeah. Cannot swim this deep.
And the door's gone. Okay.
Okay,
We
we're
were
not allowed to go there.
Not allowed to go there.
All right.
We're literally not permitted to go there.
Yeah.
What a bizarre hallucination. Pausing.
The certitude of the ancients comes with a new code, annihilating those deemed anachronistic. Indeed, Dover runs red. I don't like that.
Like these big mushrooms everywhere.
Yeah. Dover runs red.
Red Rover, can Jonah come over?
Okay, well, there were other interactables around then.
Yeah. It's one of those things that... I mean, it's a mechanic being borrowed from Doom or Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned before about how these exploration games have in their genetics those like classic FPS games, for everything that might mean. It's just like those mechanisms work, though for this context it's used to relate inference, story, all the rest. That's a person.
Fuck.
Is that... Oh dear. Oh, he dead.
For like a long time. For a long, long
A
time.
real long time. So now we can try using this picture box. Hey! There we go.
We have such sights to show you.
Can you throw these levers?
Nope.
Okay. Was there more text?
Was there more text?
I don't think so. I think it was just a lot.
Seems like the same amount of...
No one sees. So I guess onto
Check
the
Solomon's notes, I guess.
bonk.
What was that?
Oh wow.
My name is Irrelevant, and I am alone. Hello, Irrelevant, I'm Dad. Since the fall, everything has become irrelevant. I often wonder if this opinion is a realization brought about by the fall, making it true even before, or perhaps the irrelevance is the result of the fall, but the matter itself is as irrelevant as my name. Another more relevant matter is that of the cause of the fall. Unfortunately, I cannot help you there. What is with these people in hating contractions? All that I know is that it was not sudden. Society collapsed like an aging mine, losing its organization slowly without being cognizant of the decline. There was no single event that I can trace. It was not violent or chaotic. There was no dramatic scuffle. No, we fell gradually and painlessly as the structure simply melted away, so I cannot give you an accurate macro story. There is only this micro perspective. I do not have a legitimate reason to write of this perspective, of course, and it seems particularly unlikely, given our current, let us say, dilapidated climate, that anyone will even discover this mental spillage, much less read it and find value in it. Regardless, I will write of my perspective all the same. I'll write of a great many things. In fact, I'll write countless notes until that long-awaited day of my release from reality, because legitimate reasons are for those who have attempted to grasp some sort of structure. The structures are gone. It is all gone. All that is left is an empty world for me to wander aimlessly with all the pomp of a king, as if my continued existence were anything but the result of a biologically programmed will to survive and a cowardice to stifle nature's plan. Certainly I would prefer to be dead, and I imagine this depresses you. You should not worry, though, because this is not the sort of suicidal will that is born of an intense sadness. Rather, this is the desire for death born of a hollow life. The end at this point seems like an unfinished work on an already pointless existence. Thus, you should not worry as if I am in pain or as if I am in some wounded animal that should be snuffed out to stop the suffering. There is no suffering. There is nothing. I am no longer anything, and thus I am useless. Useless things should not be tossed aside like garbage to be incinerated. Or useless things should be tossed aside like garbage to be incinerated. Beyond this, the worry would be unwarranted on another level. I suspect that if you find these, I will have died well before. I should note that I am fully aware of the other survivors, reader. There are a few in this complex, though I really do despise that term. Among the present humanity, I am one of the last who is old enough to remember the fall, and I know that it is far less dramatic than our stories typically tell or told. To call us survivors is to imply that the fall was something difficult to survive. There are not nearly as many of us around, certainly, but that is because we stopped breeding and spread out, not because we died. The fall brought stagnation more than death, and stagnation brings a different kind of decay. It brings a slow decay, Like me, our world became useless and the natural process of crumbling took over. So, at last, a single question remains. That is, should you read this at all? At this point, it should be obvious that I cannot give you any reason to do so. You're one of two types of people. The first type, the type that is far more common, is someone who has only ever known the fallen world. The second type, one that you are probably not, is someone who lived just long enough to recursively recognize the decline. To the first type, these notes will be extremely depressing. To the second, these notes will present nothing that has not already been seen or felt. There is no third type of person who could find this useful. They are all gone. My name is irrelevant. I am alone. Note 2. The 6th of June. Holy shit.
Okay, we might not actually
Yeah.
be able to read all this, but point is, it gives you additional content to peruse at your leisure or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, I imagine that this will open now.
Bing!
Hey, Lamau. That's a nice elevator.
Shall I ascend to your lungs and feel your breath? I think that would be lovely.
Oh, going up. Loading. So what I got out of that is like the fall is this, perhaps something that happened to the old city,
Yeah.
and then the people outside are like, well, fuck, what do we do now? They're like,
I guess
do stuff.
What else can we do?
Continue. I imagine maybe some people just didn't do anything. Oh, hello. That's
Mousies.
a conspicuous number of dead rats in one place.
Simple little animals, aren't they? Filthy, no doubt, but can you really blame them? I suppose that if I were to hate them for their nature, I would be just as filthy. It's an odd position. To hate a rat for being a rat is to make oneself a rat all the same.
But ratties have tiny hands.
So again, this seems like a sort of an upgrade in environment.
Yeah, like drywall instead of brick, or gyprock,
know,
or plaster.
A sort of, storage area as opposed to the sort of like dark underbowels. We have a lot of platonically ideal crates. But also
Candles require lighting.
Yeah. Make the leap.
It's an odd thing for a box to say.
Are those sandbags? Or
Yeah, they
sacks
are.
of grain?
Is that a barricade or a heavily depleted storage area? Hello? Is there anyone in
Whoa! There's nothing up there. Peeing is believing. He watches me.
here? Man, how hard did you have to go?
Solomon was here.
How? No, don't write that from there.
That's really gross. That's where all the pee mist goes.
Yeah.
No one fucking understands. I like the two different patterns of like fractured glass.
Yeah, one is like-
from
And the other is
like,
just...
I just gave up.
Yeah. Well, somebody's refilled the soap recently.
Hey, or just nobody. Everybody gave up on washing their hands
I don't want to wash my hands.
one time. Oh. Is that
Ew.
Ew.
Nobody's...
Material. Gross.
Welp. Mop, mop, mop. All day long. Mop, mop, mop. Will I sing this song?
Yep. So yeah, it's like, are these supplies? Is this, barricade, like a
Hello?
last stand kind of situation, maybe?
Same mirrors.
There's no fucking urinals in here. Box on my phone.
Now that I can open doors, I must open all doors.
Yep. Who the fuck would leave the seat up in a women's washroom?
I don't know.
That's weird. Somebody who is being sick.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Actually, are the mirrors on the same wall? Nope. I mean, and the fist pattern here makes an eye. right? Or the breaking, the shattering.
Yep.
Gonna clean up, gonna mop them floors, gonna make them shine, gonna clean
Clean
up the
the
spray
walls
paint.
with-
No, it's clean up the spray paint with turpentine.
Nice.
It's an old Adam Sandler thing.
Yeah.
So these are the lungs. So we're exploring a body, basically.
Oh, it's like doing a postmortem?
Maybe.
Ooh, that's interesting.
A vivisection. I think we've talked about this concept before. They look like shotgun shells.
Are those
Or-
cartridges? Brass?
Or are they
those
cigarette
cigarettes?
butts? Oh, they've got the little gold band around the end. Those are cigarette butts.
I think they're cigarette butts. Oh, maybe not. There's
Ooh.
bullet holes
Yeah.
all through this door. I think that might be meant to be brass. Like, they're all exactly the same size.
Yeah.
So, there was a gunfight here.
There was a firefight.
Bit back.
Is that
I don't
an
know.
A or a lambda? Bibliotech.
Huh.
Maybe this is the library?
Oh, that... I can smell the patchouli. Oh, this is a weird room. I mean, I suppose it's a library, or what passes for one
Mm-hmm.
in this kind of library in Greek.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we have people in the chat that can read library.
That was a theta. Yeah.
All right.
Bibliotech. Yeah. On to the question of tactics, I should note that truth is best presented through the use of a vessel. That is to say, a passive tactic is not a tactic at all. We must be active. We must present correct ideology through any means necessary, because this world is a harsh and terrible place that deserves only an equally harsh and terrible vigilance. It is for this reason that our militant efforts are justified. Uh-oh. Indeed, it is unfortunate that the order stands in the way of what is right, yet truth must be compatible with itself. The greater eye watches as we fight for a revealed light. Our activism may manifest itself in the destruction of those unwilling to see, but that manifestation is only a sin to those addled by contemporary perspective. Future generations will look upon our conquests and see the fruits of those willing to stand up for a good idea, a correct idea. They will see our certainty, and they will thank us for bringing a new world of perfection into existence. Evil is a cancer whose only cure is something that they now mistakenly see as mutilation. They may accuse us of villainy, the simple minotaurs and unaligned dwellers alike, but that is apathy working against them. They prefer to dream of perfect worlds rather than to create them in reality. We, the Guild, are not so idealistic. Realism, my brothers and sisters, realism and activism are the keys to a brighter eschaton. Thus, we will continue to make raids against the Order camps that have infested the northern portion of the island. If the unknowing refuse to acknowledge their problematic ideas, they will also burn. Having stormed the northeastern sewer outlet and this facility, we will continue to haul the carcasses of the dead to east access. The others may see it as butchering, as if the dead are but chum, but the ever-increasing supplies of bodies make their dismemberment a necessity, if only for the sake of transportation. Take charge of those ideas you hold true, brothers and sisters. Take charge of them and fight for them. Ideas do not fight for themselves. We must make incremental steps as individuals, small leaps of faith that will produce sweeping changes for mankind. Our leap is but a small step when the destination is already something we hold true. It is the rest of humanity that must evolve. Humble servant of the greater eye. So we have fanaticism.
Yeah?
Interpretation.
Yeah, fanaticism. There's a lot of pretty traditional, like, visual cues for that, you know, like way too many candles, too many symbols.
Yeah.
The kind of, like, very fiery cadence of the text.
Mm-hmm. Like to pull down, please. What are these? Lungs?
Those lungs are testicles. I don't want to know what's in these garbage bags.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of them.
Yeah, they did mention dismemberment for the sake of transportation.
But it is possible that like this does kind of look like, you know, a supply area.
Mm-hmm.
Like a holdout last stand.
What's down there? No one ever told me. Not that I know anyone. Apparently, after the Guild took this area from the Order, they felt the need to block off the tunnel leading to an access point dumping into the unclean water. Everyone knows not to drink it, so why block the path?
To remove agency.
Thump. It's the poo tunnel. I mean, one person goes down to drink the water and it's just like... Always with these cans of something.
Yeah. Happy. Viva.
Viva. Oh! Soldiers.
Yeah.
We should probably take our first break soon.
Or militia.
Yeah. Soldiers. I mean, they look like GIs, but that could just be like some idea of soldier. Like Second World War soldier. I don't know if it's a deliberate... I mean, you know, because we're an unreliable narrator, it's like, because an American GI is kind of like... Iconically the army man.
Yeah.
You know, like the smooth top helmet and, you know, the fatigues.
I don't think I'm a particularly condescending person.
Sorry.
I'm just frustrated. I don't understand why we have to keep doing this. This conflict. Unfortunately, telling a group of people what they're doing incorrectly communicates that you yourself are doing that thing correctly. If only that were true. If only I was above this, rather than beneath everything.
All right, so do we want to take a break there?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll be back. And also a reminder, we will do subs at the end. Stick around. Don't go away.
All right. See you soon.
Cream.
Back at it again at Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
All right. So, here we are. We're back. We have begun to investigate guild space.
Guild space.
In Leviathan.
The spacing guild. No.
Choem.
Yeah, so we've been thrown into the perspective of an unreliable narrator, kind of surveying the remnants of a thing that happened somewhere.
Yeah, in a crumbling... in a city that has long since crumbled.
Yeah. Well, we begin in the outskirts of the city that seem to share a similar fate to the city itself. So,
all right, and we seem to be in the role of some kind of arbiter.
Ooh.
More notes.
Waste treatment facility.
Yeah. Intelligence. Received notice of capture prisoner named Bell. Execute on suspicion of espionage. Locate conspiring operative Solomon. Likely to be in your ranks. Use extreme caution.
I don't think you need to worry about him.
Yeah, Solomon's good. We know Solomon. Objectives. Push north towards subway access. Aid will come from sea. End. Waste treatment facility. Intelligence. Notice of execution received. Notice of investigator arrival received. Objectives. Leave water treatment facility. Secure subway access. Tunnel blocked via explosives. Bypass. Secure Jerusalem and push east.
Huh.
That's a hell of a last phrase.
Yeah. Secure Jerusalem and push east.
So, these very curt, almost telegram-like messages.
Well, they're also in all caps.
Yeah. But this looks like another Minotaur residence, but it's not.
I mean, it's just
It's
a
not
bunk.
signed.
Yeah.
Oh, these are... Yeah, this looks like a barracks of some kind.
Well, what passes for it?
And
Okay,
then,
so
like-
these are soldiers.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we sort of have to pick something apart, because like these are photos of GIs.
Yeah.
They are photos of GIs, but they've been painted over to look like soldiers in whatever this conflict is. Now, that could either just be like the devs needed pictures of soldiers to put into the game, or it could just be the narrator deciding what they look like.
But like choosing American soldiers is very deliberate, and like, yeah.
I mean, it could be deliberate. It could also just be like, this is what looks like the platonic ideal of a soldier.
Instantly recognizable.
Just like fightman.
Yep. Oh. More illegible text.
There hasn't been much of it, but there is some.
Yeah.
Cultural shorthand to denote soldier. Newspapers.
Locked. Big padlock, very easily recognizable.
East access. Oh, there's the...
Yeah, there's the other
That's a
side of
lot
the
of
barricaded
eyes.
door. Is this the other side of the barricaded door? Must be.
Well, wasn't it...
Yeah,
Was it
east...
opposite?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't drink the water.
What is this?
I do like the well, not tapestries, but like...
Uh-oh.
Must go faster.
Must go faster.
What are you protecting me from?
It doesn't like you going here. It.
I must see it. I must see what they've done. I must see the extent of Nineveh's fruits, and I must see what they've done to you. Tarshish is nothing but a distant glimmer on the banks of void. There is nowhere now but you, and you must let me explore your guts like the parasitic worm I am. Let me see the decay. Let me see this Leviathan. Open these doors. Open them now.
Oh!
Oof.
Oh, dear. Okay, so this was what they were talking about.
Yeah.
What have they done?
I mean, this is literally what you asked for.
Yeah.
They described, like, chopping people up.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Like the volume of bodies they've created.
In this, like, war they had.
Yeah. Bell?
Oof. Maybe.
I've had enough. I'm sorry.
And blackout.
You were right. I'm not ready. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
And we're back in this room.
Why back to this room?
It's a horrible cycle, this existence. I reach out to connect with them. Again and again I try, only to discover that nothing has changed. So I return home. Progression is lost, and I restart the cycle. I just want to sail.
Is the door locked? Oh, no, there it goes. Oh, somewhere new. So maybe this is like, oh, yeah, there's no exit from this room
Yeah,
anymore.
this is the only way forward.
So this is maybe like a hub of some sort now.
Right, so this actually isn't a real space. This is a conceptual space, if there have been any doubt. Contentment is a dream that they will never realize. Neither will you.
We're unreliable.
Yeah. I think, Rocket Man, I think you're absolutely correct. If they had wanted that person crucified, they would have been crucified. But they weren't.
No, they weren't. That would have been... It was similar, but not the same.
Yeah.
And now we're back in the elevator.
Arriving at the same place.
Huh. Is it any different? Oh, what's that straight ahead?
We didn't go through here.
Yep. What's that on the floor? So more casings.
More casings.
Bullet holes.
Yep. Chained. Okay. So somebody breached.
Into the garbage room.
So these are doors that we've all been through, but the numbering on the elevator was different. And now we can get here. Shouldn't there be a door? Ah, yes, right here.
Is there anything in storage?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we've been through
Right.
here.
But the double doors?
I don't think we had opened the double doors.
Open are the double doors of the horizon. Unlocked are its bolts.
It's funny how they all hoard the same supplies. All of it from the old city, and all of it wasted.
I wonder what supplies one would hoard that wouldn't be that useful. Well, certainly the seeing water.
Yeah. They seem to be trying to... I got the impression that the guild was trying to hoard it to prevent other people from having it. Or to prevent it from being used.
Because they're like, this shit's literal poison. It makes them go nuts. And they're like, no, you're stealing from us the vision. Propane. I'm sorry.
Would you grant me another ascent? I've explored your innards. Let me scale your back.
Yeah. Us.
It's always struck me as odd that evil is never self-aware. I mean, the most horrendous actions, these conglomerate endeavors of warring cabals, are caused by the best intentions. So all that's left is this grand suspicion of idiocy. Good intentions are moot under the control of a ludicrously stupid idea. But my contribution is hardly an appropriate contrast. I would like to argue that my contribution is non-existent, and thus superior to their negative impact. But the truth is, we're all infinitely terrible for not contributing at all, be it through neutrality or detriment.
Those are some manky windows.
Yep.
Which is a really good way of implying there's something outside without having to run through it. Oh, well, they did anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, this is exciting. We've never been outside before.
Yeah. Well, he talked about scaling Leviathan's back. If this facility or what have you is meant to be characterized as a creature to be explored. So
To scale its back.
Here's the sandbags. The empty helmet,
Yep.
bullet casings. So, like a conflict occurred here. Rifle.
A rifle. Was that a Garand?
Looks like an M1.
Yeah. Bullet hole.
It's interesting, the idea of, like, the way they've been talking about this conflict over such a tiny amount of ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their entire world is this, like, couple of buildings.
Yeah.
And yet...
Oh, shit. I wanted to stay outside.
We might be able to get back there again, unless you can. Can you exit?
Well, let's explore around here at least.
Oh, that's a big thing on the wall.
That is a star map.
Heathen.
It was a decent album, I guess. Water treatment facility. Intelligence. Investigator missing. Order Operative Solomon possibly within the ranks. Proceed to northeast docks. After securing investigating ranks, possible assassination attempt. Proceed with extreme caution. Greater eyes watching. They're concerned one of the Minotaurs is actually a spy from someone else.
Huh. I mean, maybe this is something that they had put on the wall ages ago, and then when this became occupied, just
Yeah.
assholes.
You don't need to worry about this. Don't look at that.
It is going to be weird if anybody compares this playthrough now to the one 2 years ago. That chemming. So back down into the sort of depths. Little motes of dust are kind of nice. They sort of remind me of Dark Souls a little bit. There was like a detail that always sort of struck me as just like little flecks of stuff flying around all the time.
Yeah, the little like bits of glowing ash.
R/kerning.
Yeah, watch out for bone wheels down here.
Perhaps I should kill myself. It's a rather funny thought, actually. The standard reason for suicide entails depression. A sad portrait of a weak mind. But my desire for death is far more utilitarian. I feel as though I am useless. And I gather that this feeling is similar to what the others have felt. I do not suppose that any of them felt any particular brand of gloom
Darker than I remember.
before the end. Just a single shade of grey. At any rate, I prefer this situation to its emotional alternative. We Minotaurs are only different in that we're honest. We see what our species has become. We see the disease, and we see that there's no cure. What, then, Should I linger until I grow old and die, affecting nothing and assuming the role of sewage? No. I'm beginning to feel as though the only honorable route is a swift end. Time has changed from an agent of death to an agent of cleanliness, wiping away existence like some sort of cosmic and crematory disposal. And I best incinerate myself before the universe is forced to deal with me through age.
Did you know, if you call 1-800-SUICIDE, it will connect you with a helpline?
Oh, really?
There's many resources like that, but that one is really easy to remember.
Yeah, it sounds like a good number.
So, that is a resource I hope no one ever needs to utilize, but it is there, and it is easy to remember.
Yep.
And it's maybe someplace to start.
54. I think I'm about done with it. I don't know how long I can continue searching for Jerusalem, and why the hell did they call it that anyway? I suppose that when the narrative of the old city fails you, the only thing left is to generate your own. That's precisely what they did, isn't it? Why find the source of the water when you have the destination, yes? Pathetic. Just think of what could be in there. Beyond the walls, beyond the conflict, and beyond the leap. What enlightenment awaits us inside? Do you not see it? Is our status as unknowing something I should feel proud of? Why can we not progress? I am sick of living off of charity water. If the water from the inland really is the only viable option for sustenance, I'd rather die than continue to exist with the same unchanging fruits of an undiscovered tree. Shall I brave the unclean waters? Let us see how impure the swill really is. It has now been 5 days since I made my switch to the unclean water, and I must say I am feeling very little difference, if anything. I am slightly disappointed. I was expecting some massive psychological change, some shift from my original consciousness. I now feel almost no allegiance to the unknowing or their ideas, but that could simply be because of my recent frustrations with them rather than the clean water being in some way the source. Is this it, then? What was the river in the underworld? The river of forgetfulness? Or Leviathan?
I don't know. What the heck are adult substances? Leth? I like the wall of Leth coming up.
Yeah.
The importance of GUO. It's Guild Unknowing Order.
And Order.
It's the three organizations that exist in this space.
Nice.
What? It's because it looks like a dong?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Lethi or Lethi?
I'm lost.
Adult substances or child substances after significant. So, aged?
Hmm.
I mean, wine is technically just grape juice that's gone off. Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
Lathe. Lathi. Styx is the Roman name for the lathe? You did say you wanted to go outside, didn't you?
Yep. We can go outside. Easy enough. However, there is... Oh no.
No dice.
Locked. I like how they used to be labeled
GUO.
and
now
this
it's
is just
well,
one.
I mean, maybe there's something being said there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, sorry. To further explain that, anytime a number, like a hotline, has letters in it, it refers to the equivalent letters on a keypad. So you see, well, this is backwards. But if I go like this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goes, 1 is nothing, 2 is ABC, 3 is DEF, 4 is GHI, and so on and so forth. So that if there's a number that says, like, 1-800-FART or something, you dial F, or you dial 3278, because that's where those letters correspond. It's a way of, like, it's a really old way of contracting phone numbers and making them easier to remember. I feel like it's pretty old. Like, I remember that when payphones were around.
Yeah, we've been down here.
1-800-DON'T from Dave's spokesperson.
Yeah, we've been down here before.
Okay. Predates area codes. 6UV1. The number you've dialed isn't. Even rotary phones had letters. Oh, shit, you're right. Is there bullet holes across that wall?
Yep.
So, like, I mean,
this one was a marksman rifle. Oh, somebody was fancy.
Yeah. So it's just like, these props strewn around are just like, battle occurred here.
Yeah. Looks surprised.
Who bubbled that current?
Who did this to you?
Who did this to you?
Bubba did it.
Tapco. Are there any walking simulator style games that you'd want to play on stream that did not like, but think are worth talking about anyways? Maybe?
I don't know why we exist in self-destroying structure. We all share a fondness for that which is correct, and we're all certain that we have it. But there must be a way for that loyalty to flourish without burning the last shreds of coexistence between our species. That is, a species that is primarily defined by its diversity. I don't know if I'm arrogant for assuming that my desire for progress is any indication of my task as a catalyst, but I tried to find Tarshish already. Only in my attempted escape did you find me, and I do not believe that you found me without reason.
Ziz is the air equivalent of Behemoth on land, and Leviathan at sea. Oh, this looks nice. Yeah, this seems like the real deal. This is more like it.
Now, is this inside the city limits?
Ooh.
For upcoming Halloween Talking Sim, contrast Amnesia Classic to Machine for Pigs. I don't ever want to play Machine for Pigs again.
Yeah, is this
It was
Jerusalem?
so bad. Oh yeah. Nice moon.
Who placed the stars in the sky?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That galaxy seems awfully close.
Looks like the remains of a supernova.
What's that?
Huh.
I like how slowly you come to this,
It's a minotaur.
and we're floating.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So
that's
I like
interesting.
I like this sort of slow kind of realization.
Reveal.
This is what I love about games like this, is that like this could have been done, in a cutscene or something, but your own like pace of exploration and this sudden like, just seeing the distance. It's like, oh, what is that thing in the distance? I'll go closer. No, I couldn't. Oh dear.
Yeah.
And it just like hits you all at once, like the genuine discovery it is if you're
Yeah.
happening across it. Yeah, we're really high right now.
Yeah,
The building is cleverly obscuring his dick.
That's very Bart Simpson in the Simpsons movie,
It's good though.
right?
I didn't think about that.
Or Shinji Ikari moves toothpicks.
Moves cigarettes, leaves toothpicks.
Yeah, or moves a pop can.
Yeah.
Hey, lady, it may not be long, but it's thick like a pop.
Like a tuna can.
A wheel of cheese, really.
Oh my god. That's
We're not above dick jokes here in Talking Simulator.
no, we're really not. Yeah, and with a cutscene, there is a certain element of like knowing what's happening. This is why I by and large don't like cutscenes, except as like very, very short, like instructional kind of things, because it robs the player of the most valuable part of the like video game experience, which is the interaction. It's like if you were just going to take that away from them, just make a movie, right?
Yeah.
This is why I kind of take issue with, a lot of the later Metal Gear games because they lean so heavily on cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. And I see videos that's just like, all cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid, 5 hours. It's just like, make a fucking movie! But the thing is that, like, the games are also good, but it's almost like the narrative and game are sort of, like, at odds with each other.
These dreams act as mirrors.
I don't know.
Like passive portraits of the complexities of the human mind, they paint self, just as ideas paint the universe. Dreams truly are the most honest form of introspection, even if I can only use them as an escape.
Perhaps contentment is nothing but stagnation. Perhaps the dream was never meant to be realized. This seems very dreamlike to me.
You'd want Hideo Kojima to make a movie. It'd be too insane to watch. Well, at least it would be contained.
I'm so worried about what happens to Kojima now that his editorial oversight has been removed.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you think Quiet was like?
I mean, the thing is, the observation that I've made is that, like, Death Stranding does, like, the videos that we've seen so far, there are no women in it at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That guy has some kind of fucked up opinions about women.
That's moving.
What the Oh, it is!
It's a bird.
Okay, so
with horns.
we are definitely...
We are tripping balls here.
Of course, if this mirror is to be trusted, then I'm just as vile as the others. The contrast between my reality and this one tells me that I do not belong here. The only thing I have that they do not is a fondness for this new world.
Z's?
Hi, Z's. I like how we get the, just in case you forgot that we're on floating island town. Embracing this tower. What a weird thing.
Yeah, no reveal. Just
it's there.
Yep.
You're not even instructed to walk up to it. Whoops. You have left the combat zone.
Return to combat zone.
It does remind me of the Painted World a little bit. Plunge down the plank. We are peaceful people. Yeah, how about that motherfucker who threw up acid on me?
Yeah, or
the dragon.
Bone wheels.
Yeah, fucking bone wheels. Explain that to me.
The people of this world are peaceful and kind.
I believe his name was Solomon, though he insisted that the matter was irrelevant. During the few times we spoke, he seemed ungrateful to the point of mental masochism. He would consistently act as though you have somehow maliciously trapped him within your confines to limit what can be done with the outside. I, of course, know you better. You and I have a special relationship.
He said to the building. Yeah, Solomon's a real fucking downer. That boy needs therapy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
Really?
Excuse me. Hey, Cheech, what's up?
Hi, Jeej.
Go that way.
And then
twirl down.
And always twirling
into the future. Oh. There's something we haven't seen a lot of.
So, we've seen a bunch of, like... I didn't remember much of this, but, like... We should probably continue putting it out there that I imagine
Before
that...
the fall, I had access to a monolithic complex of voices. My parents would simply drop me off with the instruction to learn. Vague, certainly, but the uncharted nature of the command provided me the freedom to let my interest plot the course. My travels picked up in speed as the voices became stronger, pulling me ashore to distant lands where discovery welcomed me with open arms.
The hell does that mean? Monolithic complex of voices.
I don't know. See, Sele sound only? Right, there's if I recall, there's still some upsetting imagery ahead of us.
Okay.
We should have mentioned that earlier, but I really didn't remember, so sorry.
Council of Modernity. After the global incident in Redacted, survivors divided themselves into 3 distinct groups based on belief structures. Post-fall, the ideological concerns of people still remained, while structures failed to support the conflict. So, what was a debate gave way to violence. The Council's primary role is to organize people into categories, thus allowing discussions between the larger parties to take place in a non-violent manner. Members of these categories are labeled Dwellers. Anyone unaligned with the available overarching ideologies is actively called to adopt the title of Minotaur. The Council was officially formed in Redacted, and up to the writing of this encyclopedia to preserve voices on the request of the Council, there have been only 3 ideological groups.
I think we know what they are. Ghoul.
Goo.
Ghoul. Oh, look up. Did you just do the Blade Runner thing?
Yeah.
Or wait, was
the
it
Brett?
Yeah, the
Brett.
Brett. He's like, fuck, it's such a good movie. You go right.
Right,
Can't miss
down,
it.
and Minotaur.
Yep.
Guild of the Greater Eye. The Guild is one of the 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. See Council of Modernity. Their ideology consists of a basic theism. Post-fall, prior religions lost their structure, so a sort of individualism took place. This effectively shattered any theological differences. This faction agreed to unite under the assumption that a deity does exist, even if that deity's exact definition is various among the members. The one understanding that the members all share is This ideological group's major goal is to rebuild a society that allows for freedom of religious expression. The primary method of achieving this, at the present, is through education. Under the regulations agreed upon by the Council at large, the Guild's methodology consists of presenting the possibility of a life outside the physical and an entity not bound by physical laws. Well, that seems fairly benign. Universalists.
What's a universalist? Non-denominational theists?
Yeah, I guess. Well, no, it's not quite non-denominational. It's a Christian theology, but I don't know, actually.
Huh. Oh, there's a box there.
There is a box there. Oh,
Oh.
you can just reach through and get it.
Yes. I wonder if that was
We just
actually
glitched
intended.
through. Speed running.
Get these fucking strats squared away.
Hell doesn't either exist or is temporary.
Huh.
Deeply non-denominational to the point where they accept atheists. Oh, okay.
Huh. Well, how about that?
Unknowing. The unknowing are one of the 3 ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. See Council of Modernity. Their ideology consists of a loose form of agnosticism. Finding a general consensus amidst this group has presented several structural problems, and their refusal to adopt any leader has resulted in an almost anarchic outlook. However, their methodology has almost no variation. The unknowing seek to rid any potential new society of the concept of objective truth, and in doing so, they aim to eliminate oppression entirely, leaving truth to individuals. Their goal is to create a society that adopts subjective truth. Well, they sound harmless.
I mean, unless you get one talking to you. Go. The Unitarian, is a Buddhist pagan.
Ooh, soda.
Oh, there we go. Out of order. La, viva, and soul.
I would like a soul. The third group, yeah. Exit.
It
Well,
looks
let's
like
not go there now.
I like that it looks like some person or group of people have just been hanging around this soda machine,
Like,
running it dry and just crushing
yeah, crushing cans of dew.
cans and cans and cans. Wow, the Dow, wow.
Oh man, this looks like where kids in my high school used to go to make out.
Make out, you mean like arrange yourselves at 45 degrees and sort of like crash into each other?
Yeah.
Ute. G. U. O. I almost wonder if there's some sort of like drinking the Kool-Aid metaphor here. The remains of a killer land party. I'm addicted to cracking cold ones with the
Yes,
bullets.
my dear Solomon, a marginal effect. One small step towards the unattainable, indeed.
Ahoy hoy.
Green.
Green pipes. Installed in Redacted. They provide clean water to the exterior of the old city. Natural water in and around Redacted Island historically has had problems with deposits of Redacted, making it extremely dangerous to consume. See unclean water. Or void.
So the natural water from this place is funky.
Yeah. Notable documented effects of the unclean water include hallucination, severe migraines, and thoughts of suicide. The extreme mental effects of the unclean water makes filtration and treatment a necessity. While numerous treatment facilities exist around the outer ring of the island, all filtered water feeds back into the inland before being filtered again and fed to the exterior, effectively making the old city the source of the clean water. The entire process is automated with an estimated lifespan of around redacted years. After the global incident in Redacted, the Council, see the Council of Modernity, split the flow from the interior into 3 groups. The first group serves the Guild, see Guild of the Greater Eye. The second serves the Unknowing, see Unknowing. And the third serves the Order, see Order of the Cosmos. Oh.
So that's interesting that they split it in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because that implies, well, I don't know, maybe 3 different grades of water.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Also, Order of the Cosmos.
Huh.
Heathen. Written across the star map.
Yep. Well, these factions don't seem to particularly get along.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very overgrown toilet. In fact, an impossibly overgrown toilet.
Dude, what did you shit? What did you eat? You're not supposed to eat this much salad. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. Yeah, this is the labyrinth.
There you go. So that. Yeah. Goes right into the middle.
Yep.
Great, now it's a Westworld crossover. Westworld didn't invent labyrinths.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, almost brain-shaped in
Yeah.
a way. Yeah.
I mean, that I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't a coincidence. The Greeks did.
So we're above where we were before.
Uh-huh. Oh, here we go.
Dear Solomon, I'm not sure if you're going to receive this, but I hope it gets to you somehow. I miss you. Why did you leave? I don't understand. I know you went north, but I wish you would have told me why. It was never Abraham. I never loved him. I love you, Solomon, and I don't know if it's my fault or yours that we were never together. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. I should have told you how I felt. But it's just so hard to know sometimes. I didn't know if any of it was real, you know? Maybe us being together was just a dream. Anyway, Abraham is gone now, and I am coming to find you. I'm just near the water treatment facility, and I know the sorts of places you'd love to make your home. Look for me in the area. I want to see you again. With love, Belle. Oh.
Oh, Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
You drank the Kool-Aid.
Out of Order is actually a flavor of pop.
What?
That's delightful. Oh, can we do the Vertigo?
Almost.
Yeah, no, check it out.
Yeah, you can just do it for a second.
Oh, God.
What?
Why
Really?
did I do that to myself?
Did you seriously just make yourself motion sick? Cam! Would you like some water?
Fine.
Okay. Fuck's sake. Okay, fortunately, that won't occur again unless you really, really want it to.
Yeah, congratulations, you just played yourself, Doug.
That's like
I'm so goddamn stupid.
wind up and pitch, and the batter hits it straight into your face. Or no worse, you huck it at a wall and just bean yourself.
Oh god, I'm sweaty. Oh.
That shit got right on top of you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh.
Hey, I have good news for you. It's time for a second break anyway.
Cool.
We'll be back.
Yep.
We'll have a...
I'm gonna go get rid of some dumbass.
Okay. BRB.
Hey. Welcome back.
So what do we learn?
Nothing.
Okay. Back to it. I swear to fucking... No dice.
But I want to.
Something is fucky. And I don't know what it is. I think it's better now, but I think something is loose.
There was a way that we didn't go, and it was back that way.
As long as you remember where it is.
I believe so.
A true false door as opposed to a false true door.
I mean, I think Ian has mentioned that he wants to get merch made for TTSF.
Oh yeah?
That is like basically an apron, a shop apron with ever forward, never learning.
I was going to suggest a fire blanket.
Right. We looked in here, but did not investigate.
Yep. This is the thing I do to myself a lot. Like, I'll mark something mentally.
It's true. My world is by no means ideal. And to say this is to admit to having an ideal at all, but that ideal is far beyond my reach. I dream of worlds where humanity ceases to fight over what they're certain of, but those worlds are not a reality. Truth must be compatible with itself.
Order of the Cosmos. The Order is one of three ideological...
Yeah, it did it again.
Weird.
Sorry.
Three ideological groups that spawned from the formation of the Council. See Council of Modernity. Their ideology consists of a staunch atheism. Members were initially concerned that survivors would rebuild a society with what they called the mistakes of the past. With the structures gone post-fall, they saw a danger in regressing to a barbaric religious state where society suppresses unbelievers. However, as of writing this encyclopedia, the Order has become more generally concerned with presenting atheism as the only sensible possibility. Their methodology for achieving this goal is based primarily on discussion. Their belief is that progress can only be made through discussion and that fact will win out over falsehood given an honest dialectic approach.
Okay,
That's actually, beginning to
Getting-
bother me a bit.
problem.
Are you guys hearing this as well? You are.
Yeah. What?
That must mean it's coming out of the computer.
Shit.
It's our atheism. This is our religion
Yeah.
from civilization.
I don't know what causes this or what the fix is. Hey, Beej,
Yeah.
do you know anything about the audio setup? It's not just the mic. It's not just the mic because like all the audio's
Yeah.
like killed in the right channel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird.
It keeps cutting in and out, and there's like a crackle.
There's no. It doesn't clear, does it?
No.
No.
Well,
Down mic up. There's no real.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not the mic.
Like
It's the game as well.
Oh, the game's cutting.
yeah,
out.
like
Oh.
everything
Yeah.
we just lose in
Oh, okay.
the right channel
Let me-
So it's either like something coming into the board
or going out.
or leaving the board. Sorry, because it's on.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there it is.
That's
there it
super
is.
freaking loose, isn't it?
Yeah,
That
yeah, that's the one. That's the ticket right there.
Is that better?
Yep.
maybe. Let's maybe leave that alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crackles along.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might just be fucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to
We're
Paul.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're very sorry. Hopefully that'll work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where's my snare? Where's
I
my
have no
snare?
snare in
I
my
no
headphones.
snare in my headphones. There's my snare.
In my audio wares. Ho ho ho.
Oh, do we get to say it now?
What, mop?
RIP headphone users.
That's us.
Yeah. Aha. A sheet.
The way you said that, I thought a runabout. I'll steal it. No one will ever know. Oh, is this-
Minotaur. The Minotaurs were elected as moderators in the discussions between the three ideological groups of the Council. See Council of Modernity. Their usefulness is directly related to their ability to maintain fairness. Instrumental in preventing violent outbreaks and infighting, the Minotaurs do not align with any particular ideology. They act as free agents in a discussion between three established factions. A major source of support for the Minotaurs is another party named Leviathan, redacted, in the Old City, which is now quarantined because of redacted.
the
We
fair-
failed.
So you failed to prevent a conflict. Yeah, so you're supposed to be moderators.
Yeah.
There's a far cry from our first assumption about what Minotaurs actually were.
Yeah.
Their dream. We're a mod.
How much do you know of the old world?
Come on.
Did you even
Excuse
exist?
me.
Were you thrown overboard when your fall occurred, floundering in a new and terrifying negativity? My transition was not a comfortable one, so in this we can feel a measure of companionship.
There's a whole lot to take in to your
Yeah.
left. Fortunately, we can actually go down to this beach. So another exterior, lighthouse.
Lighthouse, always a symbolic structure.
Yeah. He's watching.
Who?
Did you want to check the beach first, or?
I just wanted to see what was back
Yeah.
there.
Like
Oh,
the number of
pretty.
cans at this point, yeah, that is really pretty. The number of cans at this point is starting to get actually outrageous.
Yeah. Like, recycling people for shit.
Ah, well, that's pretty on the nose.
Huh.
Is that what?
Why would you call your beach that? Caution, Sheol.
Do you still believe in a world out there in the blue?
I kind of dig that there's like a train scrapped.
Yeah.
here. Everybody's like, "Oh fuck, we're dead."
Yeah, we are mega dead.
I
Is this the
I have
afterlife?
I have a kind of ignorant question to ask. What is Sheol?
Sheol is the place from, specifically, I think it's Judaism. It's the dead place. It's the place where you go where you're dead.
Dead storage
Yeah.
to just be there forever?
Yeah.
Oh, is that Glod?
Glod? Oh, no, those are
Nope.
plants.
Those are weird plants. Google says there's a translation of Hades similar to Purgatory.
But purgatory exists as purgatory is the place where your soul gets purified, right? If you weren't good enough to get into heaven but not bad enough to go to hell, you went to purgatory, and that was like boot camp. Where the bad got beaten out of you, and then you got to go to heaven.
Books on top of books on top of books. Voices creeping in from the vasts of a larger and more ancient world, now trapped in the claustrophobia of narrow minds and cold halls.
Yeah, like you don't go anywhere from Sheol. It's just where the dead go. Yeah, it just is. Like, purgatory even has this value judgment attached to it, right? Yeah, so, yeah. Not an ignorant question at all. An honest question. Like these cans are becoming more and more electric colored.
The old world was worthy of the waters that still flow from the inland. These green pipes that provide us with the basic sustenance we need for a pointless existence are nothing but charitable structures for an already stagnant populace. In this sense, our ideas never change because we rejected the source for its fruits.
Okay, so the three factions feed on these waters,
Which all come from
the same
city.
place.
Yeah.
And it's been purified to, prevent the water from making people become basically depressed and begin hallucinating. So it's perfectly safe. And it's nourishing.
Get that down, you.
When we discovered this cache of voices, the larger goal was already clear. We aim to unveil truth in all of its objectives and simple nature. Voices are nothing but relics of ancient discovery, and as obsolete as the old findings are, they may still act as ladders to a more complete picture of understanding. Fact, you see. Fact is unchanging and ultimately understandable. It is only in fact that our allegiance should reside. I hope you would permit me to say, my dear fellows, that fact does not respect our personal bonds, so even in community we should exhibit no final loyalty. What is more, any respect for those who choose to ignore fact is indefensible. Namely, the guild and their rather simple band of acolytes, shall we say, are not to be tolerated. Yes, the unknowing are also similarly detestable. While the guild distorts truth, the unknowing reject it outright, an obtuse concept, surely. After all, are we to consider their position untrue by nature of their claim? No. Truth is a simple thing, beautiful in all of its grandeur and connected nature. The whole of the thing, the object, is singular. It is only under the lens that truth becomes more complex. These simpletons would have you reject the connections of our findings. They would have you ignore the simple and singular nature of a grander cosmos in favor of some other singular fantasy, as if fact is a slave to some other imaginary and entirely unfounded voice. Moreover, it should be noted that tradition, in respect to voices, functions to obscure fact itself. Like a great cloud, a blight, tradition draws lesser minds away from fact towards ignorance. This evil cannot be tolerated, and its followers, guild or unknowing, should be assaulted with every measure of cruelty that they so mindlessly show to us. Do what you must. Defile, burn, torture, and eradicate. Fact must prevail for the good of all. We must annihilate this illusion of the dream. Dreams are for those who cannot understand. Fact, my dear fellows, fact is what will guide us to a brighter tomorrow, a more comfortable future. Listen to these voices for the distant impressions that fact has left on times long past. Beyond this, they are worthless. Beyond their minimal connection to the larger, singular cosmos, they are chaff. Tradition is nothing but the inhabitation of revelation, the blocking force between us and understanding. The source should be worthless beyond what it has already provided. To regress to this source would be a devolution. Order, overseer, and principle.
It is r/atheism. It's like,
Yeah.
all the atheists are the bad guys again. Well, I guess each of the books that we've found have been similarly kind of problematic, I guess.
Yeah, like very
They're all just like,
siloed.
we're correct.
Yep.
And then this other book is like, we're correct, and everybody else is wrong. It's just like, and I imagine that that's sort of, the framework of,
Yeah.
you
were supposed to act in concert.
jackasses.
To Overseer Principle of the Northwest Quad. If you see a dweller named Belle, restrain her immediately. We are certain that she has defected to the guild cause, and she should not be allowed to harm your garrison with any form of espionage. Intelligence has confirmed that her defection is indeed a fact. She may try to persuade you that she is simply escaping guild captivity, but this is not the case. Use whatever means necessary to extract guild information from her. Order intelligence. To Overseer and Principal of the Northwestern Quad. Notice has been received that Belle is being protected by the guild. The information she has about our encampments may compromise the area. As a precaution, send units 8, 4, 7, and 15 down to the tunnels to the docks. We'll be sending explosives to block off your subway access point. This will leave you and your family alone in a single unit of infantry. It is imperative that you stay and maintain this area. Even in personal bonds, we must exhibit no final loyalty. Of course, while I'm sure this precautionary measure will prove ultimately unnecessary, we will have to block our communications for several months. If anything does happen, it was a pleasure serving with you. One day our certainty will win out over the evil of the guild and truth will be apparent to all. Poor Belle.
Oh. Here, get in this fridge, darling. Well, not as much because she's not like a direct motivation for you, but...
No, yeah. Yeah, capital F fact is...
It's a bit on the nose, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're discovering bits about Solomon here.
Yep. Which is a lot to read, unfortunately. Not that we can really
Narrate the entire
narrate
thing.
on stream. It would be very, very long, but it is something to check out when you want to. So yeah, there were 3 factions. Well, 3 extremist groups.
Mm-hmm.
The Minotaurs tried to mediate between them.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out. Oration example.
Yeah. Either we failed in moderation or we were never equal to the task.
Oh. Now this again. You can do it. Minotaur in name only. It's a title. Ooh.
Oh.
Well, this is gorgeous
Yeah.
and very, very old. I like the statue of the Minotaur. I mean, was it buried this way? It looks like it's trying to get out.
Yeah.
Like it was entombed here almost.
I have to believe that my dreams have some worth, lest I loose the same anchor into shoal. I have to believe that creation itself can bring life to cyclical demise.
So yeah, in each of the Minotaur's residences, we've seen these switches that presumably control the flow of water. And it seems like the Minotaurs have all made a choice.
Oh, yeah.
because all of them have one switch turned off and the other two turned off and one turned on.
Interesting.
So maybe the Minotaur's factionalized.
I wonder what those switches were controlling, though. The flow of water, the flow of contamination. I don't know.
Yeah, that Minotaur was a Cyclops.
Yeah,
One guy had them all turned off, right?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh,
Wait, weren't we just in this room and there weren't dead bodies?
yeah, this was the bookshelves.
Yeesh. I mean, it makes you wonder how much of this we are actually seeing. Oh dear. Yep. In the corner. Woof. We'll all be murdered in our beds. Wow, I can't believe I managed to work a goon reference in here. Everybody's dead, Dave. Well, that was a horrible place to go. Oh, shit. No, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Check the beach. Is there some material? What is that?
That's a dismembered arm.
That's
It's
an
a hand.
artfully arranged dismembered arm. Or... Yep. Yep. Uh-huh.
Which is the hallucination.
Right? Yeah. And, like, is this, what we are seeing or what we want to see?
Mm-hmm.
Project C Train is an abject failure. We should never try to power it with limbs. Damn, dude. So, I actually directed you away from here by accident.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say on accident, but that, for some reason, that turned it okay, so there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing here. It's a dead end.
Is there anything further that way? No, that's...
Yeah, just the door.
Is there a way through here? That we missed, maybe?
No, we can't get out there.
I don't know if we're meant to backtrack. Like, are you sure there wasn't an exit in there somewhere?
Possibly.
Because I feel like we're meant to go, like, in further, but I'm not sure. Oh.
Oh, the large sign marked exit.
Yeah. What's behind you? Stuff.
Stuff.
That's fine. Is this a horror game? There are horror elements to it, but I wouldn't designate it as a horror game.
Oh, well, I was wondering where that train came from.
Oh yeah. It just goes straight off the rails. Oh, here's some soldats.
Ugh, they all do the same thing. They all claim a certainty that makes the certainty of others moot. Yes, again and again I know. Truth must be compatible with itself. But is that not illusory? Is truth itself not something that is, in essence, unattainable? My realism's present, but so are my dreams. And to claim otherwise is a dream all the same. It's as if they have dreamt of a world without dreams. It's as if their world is one in which truth has revealed itself in an anthropomorphic turn, allowing us all to see it clearly and grasp it amidst the darkness. Sad, yes, that we all see a different beacon. Now, all I see is void, and I do not know what's left other than to give up and stagnate in your belly. I may not have their full sense of certainty, but as of now, I cannot present an alternative. Truth must be compatible with itself. But that is irrelevant when truth is outside our reach. Onward with conflict, then, and onward with my labyrinth.
So there is a lot of show and tell in this game.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like... a lot of it's not super subtle, and a lot of it is kind of heavy-handed. Though, I think I tend to give a lot more leeway for games like this because they're doing it at all.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I think those are fair criticisms to level against this kind of, you know, expositional storytelling. However, you know, this genre is kind of just getting its start.
Yeah.
You know, people are bothering to do this kind of game at all to start with, you know. And this game's been out for a few years.
Like, I am a very vigorous defender of tell. Right? I think show and tell is what you tell first year writers.
Show not tell?
Yeah, show not tell is what you tell first year writers.
Yeah, just to get them out of
trying to exposit everything.
Yeah, but the issue is that they can, like, correct too far in the other direction.
And come to see any kind of, like, narrative voice is, like, inherently
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
when in fact a lot of storytelling is telling.
Yeah. I mean, they're two different tools.
Tell requires a lot more skill to wield well.
Yeah.
But done well, it's excellent and it's
Yeah.
totally valid.
Yeah. Oh.
I think, therefore I see. Well, Tom, I'm not saying that tell is all you do either. I'm just saying it's people dismiss expositing as being inherently bad when it.
Well, it's. I mean,
like when well done, it's undetectable.
Yeah.
Right.
In the same way that a really good show is undetectable.
Yeah.
Or rather, just like obvious. You know, it's like level design. Like really, really good level design where you just naturally go where you're supposed to. Nobody notices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're supposed to break the rules or learn the rules before you can break them.
Exactly. And I feel that games like this are in the process of learning the rules. And yeah, I think they do utilize a lot of, you know, kind of tired tropes and, you know, simple mechanisms and stuff. But in a way, they are sort of treading on, like, brand new ground. And, you know, I give them credit for that. It's like we went from Dear Esther to, like, this to, like, Firewatch. And, you know, each time somebody learns something, somebody observes what was made, where mistakes occurred, where things could have been improved. So.
One of the larger unknowing camps is nearby. Their lack of organization tends to make it difficult for them to avoid the conflicts between the Guild and the Order. Of course, the unknowing themselves make their own little raids. This results in it being difficult to maintain any sense of pity. Regardless, I'm sure the onslaught was horrendous. People never fight harder than when someone else attempts to uproot their anchor, even if that someone only does so by existing.
Oh, there was a big firefight in here.
I mean, like, there's a lot of axioms around show don't tell, but the fact is that any narrative is telling. You're always just trying to inveigle the ways in which you're telling.
Yeah, I mean, like, even the most subtle environmental storytelling is still just like, we are trying to get information into the player. Come to Jerusalem.
Welcome to Jerusalem.
Try the wine. These little storytelling games remind me of the forays into fiction by writers in the 19th century. Previously, stories were seen as frivolous, and I think games have treated stories in the same way. Yeah, well, stories, in the context of video games, fall real far down the priority ladder, almost by necessity, because it's like, if you're a studio and you're developing a game, like, you know, gameplay and look are kind of first and second priorities, depending, and then a lot of other stuff comes after that. I had a discussion with someone who works in the games industry and said that one of the reasons why especially AAA stuff comes out so shitty and bland is that sometimes the story is designed deliberately to be bland and modular, so that when decisions come down the pipeline, it's like we have to cut this aspect of the game, and the story has to still hold together, so it has to be really primitive jigsaw pieces that will still withstand a massive upheaval of
editorial. It's
and
all
it's also just we can't do rewrites. We get all the voice actors in at this one time, record their lines, and that's it.
Yeah,
we're never getting them again.
Yeah, the artists have to work on all of their assets 2 years in advance.
Yeah,
right.
So the problem is that I was going to say the task of making purely narrative games falls to not a lot of people, because I don't think there's very much money in it. Mm-hmm. So you have tiny studios or individuals working on them, and they have their own limitations and their own sort of biases about that sort of thing. So
yeah, well, with massive corporate entities, right, you have to manage all of these people working on very different tasks, and their work all has to be in goose with each other.
Mm-hmm. It's probably actually a miracle that games like Mass Effect even happen.
Yeah.
That
well, I don't think people. I don't think anyone is ugh, story is this inconvenience. I don't think you get into making games if you don't want to tell stories.
No,
right?
But it's just there are things in the context of video games that just kind of by nature become more important, especially the more money is invested in the game, the more you have on the line.
Yeah. Especially
if you're working in, within parameters where certain things are demanded of your game. Mm-hmm. It's story is a luxury, I think. A good story is a luxury of colossal studios.
Yeah.
With carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, CD Projekt Red, I think.
Yeah.
It gets held up as a gold standard a lot of the time for being able to make The Witcher 3.
Yeah, or BioShock, even for all the problems that series has, they're allowed to do an action game and place an emphasis on story. Any emphasis on story. Whereas, whatever generic, game du jour is probably just the bad guys came and we gotta beat them. Let's fight. Because that works.
Right.
And you don't have to think about it. And then you just come up with some neat characters and people are this is sweet because it plays great. And I'm not here for the story. Because
right. It's just this thing that you click through.
So.
Right.
Anyway.
I guess we thought this would be some sort of haven, a light on the hill. We thought we could hide away from what the other dwellers were doing to each other, although we hated them just as much as they hated us. I guess we thought that we were simply right, making us exempt from the conflict. It's all backwards, I mean, I get it, the world fell, yes, everything went to shit. It's just that I think we assumed people would be largely the same after the old world left us. But just listen to me. I sound like a minotaur speaking in circles about how terrible we all are with not a friend in the world to comfort me. It's funny how I thought how I thought most of them is antisocial, insufferable, and worst of all, arrogant. Now I feel as though I see the point of the isolation. I hate that it has to be this way. Yeah, so we're coming around to this narrative thing where there are ideologies, and of course all the ideologies are bad, and really the protagonist is this member of
It's like, why can't we all just get along?
yeah, this other fourth faction whose job was to moderate between them, but all the people who actually believed in things, all they ever want to do is kill each other. Oh, interesting.
Locks.
Padlocks in lieu of eyes. Oh no, the neutrals were right all along. It was right to be neutral. Poor ratties.
Yeah.
They have tiny little hands that they hold their food with.
All of our dreams at their core involve some sort of contentment. This is the one desire we all share, but is it a goal that really should be met? After finding contentment, what then? Where is there left to explore after the last temporary comforts of happiness have been extracted?
Ooh.
I don't remember the planet of the neutrals from Futurama.
They went to beige alert.
Guh.
Unbending quest for truth in
Irrespective of artificial backgrounds or practical consequences. Yeah, I don't know if it's making anybody in this game sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Vanta beige.
Vertically aligned nanotube array.
Food comes in 3 colors. Do you want red, green, or yellow? Yellow's so fattening. It contains the same nutrients.
But I like how green tastes.
It has the same flavoring. Fuck, that'd be such a good short story. Just like,
Yeah.
that's
They're literally the same.
That's the kind of stories I want to write. Is like little anecdotes like that. You know, people like living in a spaceship having that kind of like goofball discussion about which of the identical like foodstuffs is the best.
Yeah.
It's like, well, psychologically speaking, this color, oh, what the fuck?
Piles of entrails.
Gross.
Very the road. Ugh.
Ew.
Just a sea can full of
Can you
entrails.
imagine how that much smell?
Ugh. Literally sacks of shit.
Ew.
Oh, a hacksaw. Cool. 5th of October. Everyone abandoned Jerusalem after we caught word that the Guild Force was continuing onward past the minor order camp near the subway access point. It's just me now. I have several options in front of me, but only 3 that really matter at present. Firstly, I could simply rejoin with my old unknowing group that has now left our Jerusalem. This is particularly unwanted because of our recent disagreement. Second, I could wait here and die when the Guild inevitably takes this place, but the third option is what intrigues me. What if I went the Minotaur route? It's astonishing to me that I'm even considering it, given their apparent outlook on life, but there's something about the journey itself. There's something about that world, a massive world, that can only really be seen by making one's own small world, or one's own world small. From what I can tell, you essentially have to deconstruct your entire universe in order for the larger macrocosm to take over.
Everyone agrees red sucks. Which silent color choices to waifu? Teal.
Our island is plagued with the fruits of a collective mental landscape that defines us as desperately holding on to something correct. So there is no place to hide, without truly secluding, or perhaps risking, the inland. On some level, I feel as though I cannot blame the dwellers. Their zeal for truth is commendable. They're fighting for something, rather than keeping it to themselves. They're acting, instead of hiding. Still, must cruelty be the manifestation of certainty? If only truth did not need to be compatible with itself. If only we didn't need an anchor to be right. If only we could sail instead of collecting dust on the memories of voyages past.
Yeah, Tobal and Pillager, I'm not sure I disagree with you at all. I mean, I'm not sure this is quite my game. It's quite pretty. I love the sound design.
You know, but like I mean, I don't entirely disagree with you either. But like I said, like my supply of Shures is like greatly enhanced for any kind of game that tries to do something like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think I find more value in the territory it's breaking into. And I mean, there's plenty to learn from this.
Yeah.
There's plenty to learn from this. Because I was about to say, you know, like the narrator coming up, it's real clear that this game was inspired by stuff like Dear Esther.
Yeah.
You know, because it's using almost the same storytelling tools.
Yeah.
You know, just this guy sort of, you know, carrying on at length about some sort of, you know, big ideas using, you know, a lot of $5 words.
Yeah, a lot of biblical passages.
And yeah, you know, they tried to do this. They made it look gorgeous. But, you know.
Alright, it's time. I have made my decision. The guild will be here in 3 days, and my venture in isolation awaits. It's odd that I've never required any sort of dubbing. I remember that the old Minotaurs, the ones who still remember the pre-fallen world, acquired the title after breaking from the council. It's all rather stupid. Modernity, they call themselves. Members of the guild, order, and the unknowing all gathered together to make decisions on who is what before the conflicts even began. All it took was one spark, a single disagreement between people entrenched in their own ideas to initiate an infinite turmoil. The guild called it heresy, the order called it ignorance, and we unknowing sat around screaming about their need to be educated so as to stop the oppression. To think the ideas weren't even their own. Their ideas came straight from the old city. Yes, I have seen how this works. These green pipes, these charitable structures, they are the root of our entrenchment. Well, no longer. I will find the source.
Let's go to the source.
Let's go to the source.
Let's go to the source.
Poor whale.
The floodgates, open them. Cool.
Cool.
Cool. I mean, that definitely sounds like the sound effect that like a secondary character in some anime says when he like sees the opie.
Yeah.
Cool. Nosebleed.
Nani?
Nani? Oh, anime.
I've recently decided that I think I would be happy if those were my last words.
Nani?
Nani?
Just out of nowhere. Like, they have this pile of cam chum and they write ethnicity Japanese. Yeah, I think I was gonna say that, like, for this, I mean, if you even want to call this type of game a genre, I suppose you will. I think that for it to be good at some point, it needs to exist.
Yeah.
So maybe we're sort of looking at a midpoint between game, you know, I get, like, Dear Esther was a pioneer.
Yeah.
In this type of game. And, you know, there's been a small number.
Yeah.
Maybe there's been a lot that I've missed because, you know, they may have been so tiny as to evade most people's notice. But I do try to play as many as I can. And each one gets a couple of things really right.
Yeah, better.
And a lot of it's just, you know, it does sort of do this kind of thing. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. You know, and I just look forward to when we have more and more ones. Like, Firewatch was real good, because I think that story held together really well. It used new tools.
Yeah, like I thought Firewatch was, like an excellent interpretation of this. Yeah. I need to play Tacoma, which is the new game from the people who made Welcome Home.
You mean Gone Home?
Gone Home.
You got it.
Welcome Home is a Coheed and Cambria song.
Okay.
I might just be going senile in my old age and forgetting things. But the narrative. If only they could have seen that we all see. Every last one of us. Dwellers, Minotaurs, Premons, all of us. We all see. Every last man, woman, and child on this island can truly see. It is simply that we all see a different narrative, a different truth, Oppression of the diversity of voice. Yes, the diversity of
all
truth
caps.
is what makes truth a nonsensical enterprise fit for only those who would oppress. The rules are gone. Yes, gone, gone, and there is nowhere now to return but the truth of all truths. These voices of old are yet more narratives for the mixing pot of our time, the great soup of numerosity that is our species. We should welcome them. We should embrace their absolute correctness as a lack of correctness itself. What can be known? Nothing. What can be understood? Nothing. Oppression is the monopoly of narrative, where other narratives could lie, you fools. You absolutely insane mongrels. I hate you. I hate you all in your non-competitive narrative. I'm sorry, forgive me.
Did
Please.
he just cut himself off?
Only in my love for our collective narrative can I condone the rejection of your entirely problematic oppression. Idiots, 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 idiots. Yes, truth must be compatible with itself, you say. No! Truth must be allowed. I reject the singular nature of your universe, order in your pretension. I reject the infallible nature of your tradition, guilt, and I reject every last one of your preposterous nuisances who would stifle my narrative. My narrative is a dream? Ha! Would you suggest that there is a reality that is not only my own, that is not my own, not your own, and not of anyone to have ever thought? You fool. You pretentious, arrogant fool. There are no dreams. There is only a multiplicity of narratives, that all show an equally diverse truth that aligns itself with the experience of those who would be willing to live to imagine. I will kill you, you oppressors. I will not hesitate to cut the heads off every last one of you stupid buffoons and drink the blood of your useless corpses. I stand for the right of the people, the right of all people to their own truth. Come forth those who would destroy my narrative and show your vile and disgusting nature. I am certain that you are wrong, you cretins, and I will not stop until you allow our voices, in all of their diversity, to be heard. The voice of one who is unknowing.
Well. What a funny bunch of stuff to say.
The deep. No, it's not.
Someday I hope to do a narrative style game. But I think that I would approach it as the colossal undertaking that I think it is. That requires a lot of thought.
Yeah. This is nice.
The exhibit wasn't really like that. The exhibit, okay, so, confession time. I worked on a game with my brother and a friend from Oz, Nicholas McDonald, who you will know now from Screen Cheat and soon to be The American Dream. It's called The Exhibit. It's free. You can play it. It's an interesting experiment. It's not really a narrative game. It's a series of weird rooms. It's kind of like an art exhibit where the exhibits are experiences. And we made a lot of mistakes. But it's a neat idea. I don't know, maybe we should play that on here sometime.
Huh. Subway access. Yeah, I think the quality of writing in here is very, like...
First year?
Yeah. It's very self-conscious.
Very purple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna get some water.
All right. Oh, we're actually like...
Yeah, precariously. We might need to... I mean... Hang on. Wait, let me just drink. I have stone cold no idea how much is left, because I don't remember. I don't know if you wanted to come back to this one.
Oh, yeah, we could.
I remember
come
the
back to this
exact
one.
moment. I remember the slight touch of ocean air passing over my skin as I stared aimlessly into the afternoon sky. It's interesting how, though generally more depressing, I actually preferred a cloudy sky to a clear one. Two vast expanses of blue separated do not have that quality of diversity that a more speckled display boasts. This is not to say that a cloudy sky is wholly unfortunate, because there were moments amidst the grey that I learned to dwell in. I learned to live in the moments where the heavens would tear through the sky as if digging through dirt, creating little bursts of pastel light in the otherwise desaturated gloom. It's as if clouds are nothing but a frame. I wonder if without them, happiness would turn into a flat portrait of stagnation.
I mean, if I had to level a criticism against this style of games, it is possible that, like, you know, games like this people dislike because, you know, the idea is, I think, is very sound, but sometimes, like, the actual content itself, people don't like.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way this game presents its information. I think it might be a little wordy.
Yeah, a little
wordy.
A little wordy, I would say. But like, overall, I mean, I'm not hating this.
No.
At all.
But it's like the content. You know, it's like you could be like, oh, this game is super great, but I don't like the story. It's like, why don't you like walking sims? Well, it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. So do we want to thank subs?
We should thank subs, and then we will
come back
to this
next week.
I
think we have two more chapters to go.
Yeah, there's 10 chapters in total. Then
Cyclops
we'll
Boy mentioned 10.
And then maybe we'll like throw in some like short stuff.
Yeah, but I would love to actually like talk a lot about how these games work.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have to use, because they're existing in a 3D space, they have to use like their environment, and they have to take into account that the things that the player may do things non-linearly.
Yeah, the
backtrack.
The visuals for the most part in this game are very thoughtful.
Yeah.
And like there's, you know, discussion walking simulators are seen as lazy because it's like throw in some props, you know, have a narrator and that's it.
Right.
But you can't afford to do that. You actually have to be, I think, to tell, you know, a story or have, you know, an exploration experience be good, you have to be really thoughtful about where you put everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, in a walking simulator, in order for it to be successful or noteworthy or good at all, right, they have to be, like, all the things that they put into it have to work.
Yep.
Right?
So,
like, if there's no saving the story with good gunplay, then...
Yeah, because, like, if, you know, it in some ways these games are kind of, like, stripped down video games. Like, they've chosen to focus on one less developed aspect of this medium, and that's like a bold, kind of brave thing to do because like, you don't have those things to fall back on. You know, you can't have people be like, oh, you know, the gameplay was super good, but the story kind of sucked, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay was good. It's just like, you have, you know, whereas, you know, some game might have like gameplay, music, visuals, story, all that stuff, and be like, you know, it's like, oh, the music was good, and, you know, the gameplay was good, and, you know, it looked good, and the story kind of sucked, whatever. This is just like, you know, you cut away all but the essential. It's just like, the story was so the game was because that's all that was in it.
Yeah, but I do like your angle on this, that the interpretive act is the gameplay.
Yeah.
in these. I think
which
that's
is
really insightful.
Which is also
That's good.
maybe why a lot of people miss it. And it's not necessarily that they're stupid or ignorant or something. It's just that like there is an expectation that there's like buttons to push and levers to throw.
Yeah.
And things to pick up and put down and you know, just stuff to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, the interpretive act is like something that is, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a non-pretentious way to say this. Like it's more of a cerebral kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, because so few games are presented that
Excuse me.
isn't it? That really play to your usage of that skill. I completely lost my train of thought. Not many games play to that usage of your skill, and so when one comes along, it's like, what is this? This doesn't behave like every other video game I've played.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Overwatch? Maybe.
I mean, yeah, Overwatch would be interesting because I think Overwatch is actually there's a lot to talk about in Overwatch.
Yeah. It's like, well, Overwatch, the expansion of defaults.
Yeah.
The attempted
expansion of
defaults.
Yeah.
And yet still retaining many
Well, I mean,
defaults.
like, I think we could talk a lot about how Overwatch as a game makes no fucking sense at all.
Yeah! Yeah!
All right. So many years ago, there was a war between
Here we go.
AIs and humans, and an organization named Overwatch, which was a global organization with no oversight, but, you know, served to, like, resolve this conflict and bring us together. So you take members of Overwatch and their adversary organization and you form a team with them, and then you use it to push a cart across the map fighting other members. Possibly the same people.
What's in the card?
I don't fucking know.
A celebrity?
No, I don't.
Who's trying to get to his photo shoot?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think
It's
so.
weird,
Or there's an arm in one, I think.
I really love Overwatch, but fuck
Yeah.
me, it doesn't make any sense at all.
It's like, okay, this world
Okay.
sounds really cool. What do you do? Capture the flag.
No, you know what? Okay, I'm sold. We should do Overwatch either next stream or the
I
stream
like
after
that. Yeah,
this.
all right, let's do
okay.
it.
What the shit, dude? Are you okay?
I think I was like,
felt
we're gonna
something.
bro fist, and then I was just like, all right, high five mode engaged, and it's just like,
Okay, anyway,
yeah,
let's thank subs.
okay.
Where-
Sometimes it's an EMP generator. Yeah.
Where did we start?
All right.
Arcane Illumination?
Yeah, Arcane Illumination sub for the 18th month saying, hey, I remember watching this game on IDDQ Derp. Guess I better buckle in for another great episode of Talking Sim.
Fake Gamer Boy sub for 7 months. Hey guys, dropping in to fire off my sub and say thanks for the great content. Hope the move's going well.
Winterfay just subscribed. Welcome. Thank you for supporting us here.
Lord of the Lights for 3 months. Welcome back. Like, we gotta talk about this.
Yeah, no, that's gross.
Yeah. It's
Earthen One gave 51 bits saying, I love the walking simulator, talking simulators.
Weasel512 for 7 months. Welcome back.
Contiguous Kitty Cat resub for the 32nd month saying, hello, Cam and Alex. Enjoying the new office? I am.
Sidewinder Sky for 11 months. You two are wonderful. Keep on keeping on.
Great Googly resub for the 11th month. Thank you.
Dr. Sterling Silva for 9 months. Sup, Abby? Have a great night.
Roland Malleus is resub for the 26th month.
Dr. McGoodtimes, sub for 29 months. It's my 10th Prime member anniversary. This game seems interesting. Watch out for Theseus. Or Theseus.
Theseus. Oh, yes. Emberzen resub for the 2nd month. Thank you very much.
Cadin, 13 for 2 months. Welcome back.
Going. Medium has resub for the 11th month. Thank you.
Sir Garrett Cameron for 11 months. And lo, there are many ways to understand the glory of art. Also, time appears to be a thing.
Lord Orcus has resub for a 21st month. Thank you.
Stone Reven cheered us with 1,000 bits. Thank you so much.
Carbonyl Cookie resub for the 23rd month saying exceedingly biblical.
Magical Writer cheered with 75 bits. Sorry, just got here. Can't stay. Good to see you're back today, Alex.
A
Glad to be
dubious...
back.
Oh, I'm sorry. A Dubious Notion resub for the 11th month. Thank you.
Blue Gunter for 4 months. Never leave money on the table. Take my Amazon money from me. Or for me.
Sterling Sojourner resub for the 17th month saying, move-in date, move back a few weeks, car in the shop for repairs, and my laptop has to be held at an exact 22.5 degree angle to charge. But I have Lure, so that's pretty cool.
Zayak167 just subscribed. Welcome.
God of Thunder 4242 just subscribed. Welcome.
Chance for 23 months.
Red 2 Wedge is a brand new subscriber.
Arimon for 3 months. Welcome back.
JK Phil resub for the 4th month saying hello.
Trial and Error Gaming sub for 2 months. I know a lot of exploration games, but this one tells its story in a really engaging way. Keep up the good work, and thanks for sharing this.
Admiral Mamo gave 100 bits saying this game is quite a thing.
Wombat Guardian sub for 3 months. Keep up the awesome streams.
Comrade Barrack resub for 30 months saying, I know you won't read this until it's time to go home, so have a pleasant evening, Alex and Cameron. Thank you, Comrade Barrack.
Moshberry for 3 months. Welcome back.
Overlord Stole resub for the 25th month saying, always happy to see Talking Sim. Always happy to do it.
Yep. VGZ Brennan for 11 months. Woo, almost 1 year. Appreciate you, Cam and Alex.
Mr. Nibbles resub for the 20th month saying, thank you for all the good stuff you folks do.
Arcanian Illumination with 50 bits. I can leave the stream so that I can start settling in to go to sleep. I'll catch the rest of this from the VOD. Keep up the awesome streams.
Simply Leggy just subscribed. Welcome.
Morinder for 25 months. Hey guys, just dropping by to share my love of Talking Sim and say huzzah on my first sub at Moonbase Mark 5. Oh shoot, you just went on break. Oh well, time to go to work.
Mr. Flip resub for the 48th month. Happy 2 years, saying, or 4 years. Oh, 4 years. I hope Cam is feeling better after all that excitement.
Empyrean for 21 months. 21 months, that's almost redacted.
Lumberjack resub for the 21st month, saying 21 months. It's like, anywho. Be seeing all of you at PAX.
Misteline for 10 months. Welcome back.
Kanoki resub for the 44th month, saying, hi Jens, glad to see ya, and here's to more good stories.
Acromonk for 11 months in a row. Thanks for making this dimension a better place to live.
Nefarious Ned resub for the 20th month, saying, so glad to sub during the show. As a creative artist in a former life, I find the ideas and discussion on the show refreshing, familiar, and interesting. Thank you. Thank you.
Wither for 50 bits. Would we get a new Day Tuesday with the Cam Ender in XCOM?
I'm not going to say yes, but maybe. Bowman427 resub for the 35th month, saying 35 is a big number.
May the value be with you. 16 sub for 7 months in a row. Hey guys, always great listening to you guys talking about games.
Robert Merlot resub for the 31st month, saying, I always love watching you guys pick apart games. Keep up the good work.
And couldn't pick a username cheered with 50 bits. 50. One for each belch from camp. Wow. It's at some point that will be accurate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Always dabbing into the future.
Dabbing into the future.
See you. What's on tomorrow?
Tomorrow is, I believe nothing, actually, unless there's something on the schedule.
Unless there's a bonus stream. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I think we have too much to get done to do either the crapshoot or AFK. The studios just aren't ready yet. We've been busting our asses, but it's, man, there's a lot to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been busting Beej's ass.
Let's go bust at Beej's ass.
He's been working really hard.
Busting makes me feel good.
Mm.
All right. Until next time. Bye.